streaming. Oh, okay. It's going to be the three of us tonight. Fantastic. I just saw the message. Oh, I should probably do this.
Oh, you didn't see it earlier?
No, it was a job interview, but it turned out to be a group job interview, so it was over 2 hours. I was, screaming inside by the time let's go! Oh my God! So, yeah. Crazy fun
totally
stuff.
Get it.
In the meantime, we're ready to go. Hello and welcome to the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. My name is Bill Kelly, Hornswoggle the Great, and tonight with me, my co-hosts for the council are...
Chris Newton, Twisted Mind.
All right.
And Rob the Blacksmith.
She's here.
Yeah. We are ready. Okay. Oh, go ahead and do the cigar for the day. Let me get the days of the year.
Well, this one here, this is an Undercrown from Drew Estates, and the specific blend is called the Shade.
Shade.
And this one is, of course, because it's such a large ring gauge, called the Gordo.
Wow. That's huge.
It's there for a while, and I guess it still is. The 60 and above ring gauge was very, very popular. The larger the cigar gauge, the more popular it was for a time. It's been kind of interesting. There was one outfit, Asylum Cigars, that was quite literally making a cigar that probably had a 3-inch diameter.
Holy shit.
Or I should say a 3-inch circumference.
Damn.
I mean, it was a great big cigar. And it was mostly in joking.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was comical.
It had gotten to a point, right. It had gotten to a point where so many people, so many outfits were making, who can make the biggest one? Who could do this? Who could do that? So I actually ended up buying one of those for a friend of mine who is always into bigger is better, bigger is better, bigger is better. So here you go, smoke this one, buddy.
No, it isn't. Bigger isn't always better. And go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were.
I was just going to say, this one is a very mild to medium blend. It's a great evening smoke. It's a nice, relaxing smoke. Goes well with chicken and fish.
Like a fine white wine.
Exactly.
Chicken and fish are always a hit. This is true. Very, very true. Today is National Take a Walk Outdoors Day. Can you totally get behind that? National Penguin Awareness Day. Right on. Tuxedo-ed birds. National Cheese Lovers Day. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. International Day of Acceptance. Okay. And National Coffee Break Day. Oh, hey, Saf. Coffee is the lifeblood of the workers.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just over there. So, yes, today's questions. If there was a post-apocalyptic Earth, could 40 cats take down a cow on their own? I say yes. I mean, why not? There's no humans around to protect the cow. What? You don't like this question, Kris? You don't like this ridiculous question?
It's the same question as 100 men and one gorilla.
No, that would be way more entertaining. This is more like survival.
40 cats versus one cow.
Oh, you both said something at the same time.
I was just say the cats would not be interested in one cow. And in that circumstance, they would be going after smaller prey And house cats tend to be less communal hunters.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
You would have a much more difficult time with it. And quite frankly, depending upon how long after the loss of humanity, depending upon the cow, is it a bull? What breed is it? For the most part, the cats are going to play hell just doing enough damage to bother it, let alone bring it down.
True.
So I've watched bulls take on mountain lions up at the ranch.
Oh, a bull, yeah.
And they're not happy.
These are 12-pound mountain lions. No, it's not. It's not even close. Oh, we got both the brother and the sister over here. Hey, Mr. Steele. My phone is ringing in the other room, but I'm going to let it ring. Forget that. We're just going to move on forward because tonight is on the fly. So, this is actually episode 55. Last episode was 54. My apologies. That was all my fault. I started that hideous rumor, and it just continued. I know. Wouldn't be the first lie I told. Anyway.
I'm wagging the finger at you, Bill.
Probably not. No, most people don't. That's why I hate reunions. It's just hours of me apologizing.
Potato, egg salad, who knows?
Potato, egg salad. Yeah. It's potato-y. So, yes, we talked about that. And there's a lot of buzz going on at the old Lucas, Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of the...
Finally, the witch is gone.
I think we could comment on it neutrally. I'll try. You already did it for us, though.
Witch is gone.
That's all you get from me.
I have been blissfully unaware. What have I missed?
Okay.
Kathleen Kennedy is out as head of Lucasfilm.
Who?
And Dave Filoni has taken over creative.
Okay.
And somebody else is taking over as,
financial
management.
Yeah.
Financial.
Are they still a subsidiary of Disney Corp?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Then there is no change. We will see.
I had a
We
whole
will see
thing,
items
but he beat
that
me
will
to the
sell.
punch.
Everything has to get past the Eisner sniff test, and Eisner's nasal passages have not been the same for a very long time.
30 years.
Which is unfortunate. If they truly gave a rat's ass, and yes, we're early into it, but I'm going to swear anyways. If they genuinely gave a rat's ass about creative creation, about true creation, then Disney would have long ago separated its entities far enough to allow the creative lines to continue appropriately and quote unquote shield the Disney side. So you would no longer call it would no longer be Disney Corp. You would call it something else. Give it a different name so that Disney could continue to carry the PG and the G and the children's programs and all the rest of those things, all the lovely, wonderful things that Disney is known for. Disney has had an incredible capacity to create, extend, and build upon for a century. Let's just be honest, for a century.
Almost a century,
and then,
I mean...
You open up the other lines for things like bringing in the comic book films and all the rest of that. So it resides under a different umbrella. So it's all one corporation. But Disney exists over here. And Marvel exists over there with DC and independent films. And then you have, if you're going to scoop up and grab, then you grab your MGMs or your Paramounts or anybody else that you want to throw into that same idea. But now they have their lines that they carry forward so that you have a reasonable isolation to each of the creative streams. Otherwise, you shoot yourself in the foot, because either Disney becomes hardcore and everybody gets pissed off, or all the properties they own outside of Disney waters down and you piss off all of that core. So you shoot yourself in the foot when you try to pull them all together.
Historically, there's no one better than Hollywood at pissing off fans. I mean, like, they're the original trolls. Oh my God. I mean, there's only a few things that are exactly like their... But the telling of stories is the telling of time, and stories evolve over time. And that's fine, but it's only been less than 100 years since Steamboat Willie and...
These guys claim to be consummate business people. And at the very end of the day, Eisner and all of his ilk will tell you that they are business. We're business people. This is a business. We have to do what's right for the business. We have to pay attention to the business, the bottom line of the business. Except they're doing everything they can in short order to damage very profitable subsections of their business. And what ends up happening is they then realize, oh shit, we broke it.
Yeah,
I'm going to get rid of it because it's not making me money anymore. So they'll sell it back to Sony, or they'll sell it off to Paramount, 20th Century, or whoever the hell else wants to buy it. Let it run. It'll become profitable again, and they'll come back in with a stupid offer to buy it back.
Yeah. I don't know. See, there's a lot of things in our world, in the past and in the present day, that sound a lot better on paper and in the think tank boardroom than they do in the actual logistics and the strategy of, making it happen in the real world. Because it for Disney and Marvel and Star Wars to all team up, you would think in a way, I mean, not just for the video game play, because you can make the most fantastic video games with no boundaries like that, but for storytelling, it's almost like they did the sequel curse of the 80s. So you had this merger, you got this channel going, everything's going up, and then you just start cranking out Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and Mando and all the other... And the problem was that most of them started out strong, and again, I've only watched the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, which were really good. But if you listen to your friends and the fans, people are kind of upset after first, second season of things. And, I mean, that's to be expected. And then there was the Acolyte one, where none of us agree on it. I haven't seen it, and I never want to see it. You watched it, Rob, and you said it was good. Kris, did you watch The Acolyte?
I watched the first 2 episodes, and I couldn't go past that. It was lesbian witches.
And that's fine, but not in Star Wars. And sorry, nothing wrong with lesbian.
I mean, the Book of Boba Fett was Mandalorian 2.5.
That's what I heard. And Ahsoka,
and then,
I mean, you've got Rosario.
Ahsoka was not bad.
Well, you've got Rosario Dawson. I mean, because she's one of those, like, I'm going to watch her. There's so many actresses that I don't care what they're in, I'm just going to watch it. She's a terrible actress, don't care. Watch it. She's not. I'm just using that as an example. That movie sucks, don't care. Gonna watch it. I should have said that instead. But I didn't actually, I mean, it's the curse of being poor in the future. You just don't get to see things. So only 2 episodes, huh?
Yeah. That was the extent of my light. Oh, done.
Problem with each of the television versions, for lack of a better term, they're being written like a telenovela. They really are.
Yeah.
And they're trying to throw an emotional swing into these things and they're writing it. The reason why they run into problems is they're writing it. They're writing it like they want it to be written like a comic book, but they don't know how to write a comic book.
No,
So a comic book, they don't even know how to really write a serialized program. That's where they're running into difficulties, because I want to make this happen, but I want to pack all this shit into it, and I want to throw a big cliffhanger into it. And I watched Fargo, so I know how to do cliffhangers. And you're watching all of this go about, and I have to think to myself, no, these are large tales. So Star Wars was written to be large. Star Trek, you can get away with the serialized because it was originally intended to be serialized. Yeah. That was the whole point. It's a morality tale. We're going to pick a specific moral value, idea, position, condition, situation. We're going to tell you that in 45 minutes, and then we're going to move to the next. And that's the whole point of it. So I want to do that.
We'll get to Star Trek Wars in a minute.
Sorry. Star Wars was always meant to be these epic films. That was why they were written the way they were. That's why it was brought together. The original tales were told, and they were drawn from epic tales from history. So if you're going to run into this, you need to write a series. And that's why I think The Mandalorian was the closest to this. I'm going to write a tale. I'm going to write a story. And I'm going to then take my people and say, you've got to figure out, we're going to go from A to B. And normally we would do this in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I need you to find the breaks. I need you to find breaks at 45 minutes that you can put this into 8 separate positions. So now I have the opportunity to tell a greater tale. Think about it this way. If Lucas had the opportunity to film the equivalent of 5 hours of screen time, and then you came to him and you said, okay, I'm going to let you film your 5 hours or your 8 hours of screen time, but I want you to show me a break. You need to find a breaking point at 45 so that then I can put this on television. We can have all of the ad revenue and whatnot. And then next week we'll come back with the next 45 minutes. And that way you've got the people involved. That's the true story behind a comic book. A true comic book tale is meant to be, would easily be a 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour blockbuster. But we're breaking it up into a section that is quote unquote digestible, but it has to lead to the next, and it has to carry through on a consistent basis. Yeah. And that's what a lot of us old timers love about the comic books. Then there was also the morality tale comic books where here's this moral value. We're going to do it in 25 pages or less. And I want you to tell this tale and give me something to carry on or pick up on in the next comic book when we decide to drop the next part of this morality tale.
Hold on one second. Oh, that's in one of yours. One of you has background talking.
Is it?
Up here. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go mute, and you tell me if...
I heard 2 dudes talking. I don't have anything else open. It can't be me.
Because I'm clear here. I don't even have Fenner talking to the neighbors.
How about now?
It stopped. It sounded like us playing D&D. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have something open and I don't realize it? That wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, as I was saying, I'm not hearing any cross-chat.
Okay. I like to look at beautiful women. Sorry, that's one of my hobbies.
Oh, Colonel Potter. I love to go swimming with bow-legged ones.
Happy Valentine's Day. Like and subscribe. 100% pure bar, folks.
Now, to what Rob was saying, Andor did that really well.
Yes.
I like Andor.
Everyone
Andor
likes Andor, but they said the pace was super slow and it had trouble going somewhere. I have not seen it, so please forgive me. I'm going on hearsay.
No, that is right. It is very plotting, is very slow, but it picks it up. It's kind of like a mountain climb. You're up, and then now we got a little bit of action, and then you're going up.
I'm really glad that we got to talk about Star Wars, even though I kind of steered us that way, because when you talk about Star Wars, you cannot talk about Star Wars with bringing up one of my favorite characters from modern history, who George Lucas invited to the Skywalker Ranch, and that is Joseph Campbell, the power of myth. And George Lucas went to Joseph Campbell and said, basically, you're an authority on all of the old stories. Campbell was an aficionado, a specialist on Gilgamesh and Hercules and all of them. I mean, I had Perseus, and I only named 3, but Campbell studied not just all of your colloquial and national heroes and myths, and from Thor to Zeus to Odin to, Quetzalcoatl. He researched all the myths because he believed that there was a truth behind the myth. And besides being a truth behind the myth, Campbell also believed that, to reiterate, there was never any animosity between Roddenberry and Lucas. Lucas admired Roddenberry. He was a huge fan of Star Trek. Roddenberry said he was standing in line to see Star Wars, and it impressed him so much. I mean, it's not scientific, but it was a fun story where Lucas was shaking Roddenberry's hand and told him, I used to watch Star Trek while I was writing Star Wars. Dude, that's like a Weird Al Yankovic level compliment. I mean, think about that for a minute. The 2 sci-fi icons of screen, TV and later movies, and then movies and later TV. That's Lucas and Roddenberry are the bookends that Asimov and Ray Bradbury, and they didn't have the medium available to them to make movies. And I mean, Fahrenheit 451, the movie, didn't come out till like the late 70s or the early 70s, the one they made. And it's cheesy. And then there was the Martian Chronicles. And I was really little when that was on TV, but I have to say the scariest thing about that was the score, the music to it's still creepy. You could put it out on Halloween and people would be like, what the fuck is it? Because it's a scary sounding arrangement of instruments and music. But for Star Wars, Campbell told Lucas, if you want to create the greatest space opera and you want to have a traditional epic tale in space, you're gonna have to follow a couple pathways. Your hero must be born destitute. He must be born outside he didn't use the term empire, but whatever. Especially in all of your sci-fi, and I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I don't read as much as I would like to, but as far as sci-fi goes, and Star Trek, beloved Star Trek is even... with Star Wars and Firefly and Lex and all the other ones, there's one giant organism that runs space. The Confederation, the Federation, the Empire, the Alliance, And your heroes are the rebels fighting the system, fighting the man, fighting the power, outsmarting the bureaucracy, cutting through the red tape. It's only Farscape and Star Trek where you have a different take on the giant gung-ho superorganism. In Farscape, it doesn't really exist at all. Now, I know I'm leaving out a lot of sci-fi that I have not seen, and please go ahead, roast me away in the comments below. I have not seen Earth 2 or Space Above and Beyond or what's the other one I really want to see? Not
The Expanse?
The Expanse. I was going to say The Gap, but that wasn't right. Not
No,
because I really want to see these out. Like, I've just started watching Babylon 5 for the first time. Why didn't you watch it in the 90s? Because I was at fucking work, and I had a kid, and I was working 2 jobs just to make... Sorry, I don't have a fancy college degree. I decided to do the blue-collar hard knocks school of life. So... For me, I've only seen so many shows, and this is what I base things on. And even the new Battlestar Galactica, as much as I think Paul gave me a copy of it, I think I still have it on and it's not even new. It's now old. It's like 20 years old now. I'm saying new because I'm 53, and my Battlestar Galactica is with Dirk Benedict and Lauren Green and... By your command. You know, those are Cylons.
That's
Not
my
that,
Battlestar Galactica.
yeah, that's not that I don't mind the concept of what they did for the Cylons for the new one, but dude, just come up with a new story. Don't change the side. It's cool that you made Balthazar more of a human and less of an asshole, because in the original story in the 80s, they don't really develop his character at all. And Paul was going on and on and on about how he's like, you understand why he sided with the bad guys. It was like, I might have to check that out, because in the original, he's the worst human that there is. Because he's literally helping the Cylons and those other guys with the big afros and the purple faces. He's helping to eradicate all the humans. So it's like, after they kill all those humans, who do you think's next, buddy? Yeah.
He's the supervillain.
Yeah.
He's the comic book supervillain. I'm going to destroy the Earth. Why would you do that? You'll die too. I'm going to destroy the Earth. Okay, I'll be over here.
But you live there, dumbass. Destroy! So, with Star Trek... The gung-ho superorganism is... it's been a long damn day and I'm super tired.
Organism!
Last couple of nights at 2:30 in the morning outside my bedroom window. Now, all of my cats come inside, well, 5 tonight, but normally 3 p.m., 3:30. There has been a ginger cat, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, loose in the... I think he might be homeless. But he's figured out that if he starts screaming at 2:30 that I come out of the house and talk to it. But I've been leaving food and tuna out there, and I think he's eating it. I just worry about coyotes and owls. So, the giant gung-ho superorganisms in space for Star Trek is actually a positive thing. Go, Federation! Fuck the Romulans! You know, and then the Klingons start out as bad guys, but they progressively become good guys because Klingons have an incredibly violent society, and it kind of mirrors the Bushido,
Humanity.
you know, kind of like the Japanese, kind of like Native American. They have an honor system, but its honor is a point of view up until the point where they start encountering other races. Also, today, 75 is your average human, male human? 75? Is that right? 65, 75? Has it gone up?
Average age?
Average age for a human?
I think 75 for males, and I think it goes to 80 or 81 for women.
You know what it is for Klingons? For male? Klingon male? 47. That's how violent their society is. Your average dude dies at 47. They have double hearts, they have all these double organs, all this other stuff, but their society is so fucking toxic that it's only after, like, Next Generation time, by the time Worf goes in, Worf is the first Klingon officer. So, sorry. It makes me sad because this new Star Trek Academy, you've got Holly Hunter. Okay, you have my strict attention. I've been really hot for her since Raising Arizona. I'm Baron. She was great in that movie. Turn to the right! If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's the best Holly Hunter, Randall Tex Cobb, Nick Cage, John Goodman,
David Duchovny.
William Forsythe, David, they're all in it. It's one of those movies that a whole bunch of major stars are in it before they became really, really big. And it's a brilliant film. Don't think about it, just watch it and enjoy it, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's a brilliant film, and it's that stream of consciousness. So, with the new Star Trek, oh, cool, Paul Giamatti is a bad guy. Awesome. Love him as a bad guy. Great as a good guy. I think he's a talented, we've talked about him before. That I have a list of probably about 1,000 actors that are all through time that I think deserved a better shot, and they just never got it. You know, we could sit here, that could be like one whole show. So, all that I've seen, and then of course I'm a huge fan of The Critical Drinker, and he was not kind to Star Trek Academy. I think I reposted that. But after watching it, and again, to reiterate all that you just said, Rob, earlier about Star Trek and how the big argument is, well, Star Trek has always been woke. That's a point of view term. If anything, Star Trek has always been progressive, but Star Trek also promotes no racism. So the dichotomy of our modern world and the future world of Star Trek get muddled in a lot of iterations, not only iterations, but also interpretations. So with now you have this big focus on everybody's really weird. Okay, that's not Star Trek. I don't know what kind of Star Trek you've been watching, but that's Star Trek is about science and exploration and working together. In fact, I would go so far to cite Star Trek The Next Generation, another actor that does not get enough praise or fame, Dwight Schultz, A-Team. He's Murdoch. He's the crazy pilot and mental patient of the team. But in Star Trek, he plays, what is it? He's Lieutenant Commander? He does have a rank. Barclay. And
he starts out as a lieutenant and gets promoted.
Okay. Because Barclay's a fuck up. And Dwight Schultz, I think that's, forgive me if I got his name wrong now, I got to look it up. The actor.
Oh, you're right, right. Schultz.
I am? Oh, thank God. I don't want to.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to disrespect.
Yeah, Dwight Schultz.
He's amazing. He's amazing in the A-Team. He's amazing as this character because this character, he's intelligent, but he's a normal dude. He's racked with anxiety and,
he's a terrible introvert. The character itself is a genius introvert. And as he is written over time, he develops, and they develop that part of it more and more. He's got this incredible intellect. He's very good, but he is, for all intents and purposes, from the very beginning, he is much more of a theoretical when it comes to working with others. He does extraordinary work on the theoretical side, putting it into action. If he's left to his own devices, he can make it work. He does not have the social skills. No. And that's the big push for that character development. The character itself has very little social skills. So he falls on the autistic scale.
Yeah. You said
very strong.
You already said the buzzword I was totally fishing and baiting for. Character development. With Barclay, dude, you fucking hate him in the first episode that he's in. In the very, what is he, like season 4 or whatever? He's later in the Star Trek The Next Generation. But like Rob exactly pointed out, his character arc, you realize that he's actually above average intelligence, that he's actually capable. He's just, dare I say it, please forgive me, he's a nerd. He doesn't have any social skills. He doesn't understand the social nuances of human interaction, of human psychology, of human body language, of human, I don't want to say innuendo, but what's the other, oh God, I'm so tired. What's the other term for when people say what they don't mean, but when they
he has little understanding for sarcasm, little understanding for innuendo, as you had spoken.
Metaphor.
And
Thank
illusion.
you.
Metaphor.
Thank you, brain. You're too slow. He has very little understanding for metaphor. It takes him a minute because he thinks he's being insulted. So it's like that's nerd behavior in a sense, but Barclay goes through a whole character development arc, and he becomes a vital member of this Enterprise crew by the time you see him later on in the show. And again, Dwight plays him. He's a great actor, so it's always entertaining. The man you love to hate becomes the man you want to root for. That's brilliance. That's a brilliant... And having a super talented actor that can pull that shit off, 5 stars.
I haven't seen Star Trek Academy yet, but the thought that I have for the Academy, you have to remember the original pilot for Star Trek.
Oh, I do.
That was played extraordinarily. It was played extraordinarily campy in many ways because they were still trying to find their footing. They had no idea what they were going to do and how they were going to take that forward.
We were just talking about it in one of the last episodes where, you see, Spock is the only character that made it over. They used
by
other
name,
actors.
yes.
Yeah, but Spock is the only character because, yes, Majel Roddenberry was there, and Roddenberry was married at the time, and they were actually having an affair, and he ended up getting a divorce, and then they ended up getting married. It was messy, but that's Hollywood, folks. But even Roddenberry lied to Hollywood. He sold it as like a submarine show, like a Sequest kind of thing. And then when it was out in the space, and they were like, wait a minute, nope, it's too late, we're already into production. But they made a couple mistakes in the pilot, but they did a lot of groundbreaking stuff. All of the actors in the pilot did a great job, but dude, it was a very choppy script. It was a great episode as far as Star Trek episodes go, but you had a world where a woman and an alien were officers. And, a woman was a first officer. In 1965, 66, that was unheard of. You're a crazy hippie, you beatniks,
But they had to redevelop it, bring back the new pilot, to bring it forward. And they had to get their feet under them. The difference is, both pilots were written in such a fashion that the characters, the officers in rank, were all experienced in rank and knew what they were doing and were carrying forward. They're coming into these new experiences, but as officers, as members of this military organization, they had experience, they had knowledge to draw upon. They were able to go forward and use that. Star Trek Academy, if it's not written in such a fashion that all of these new recruits are in some way, shape, or form learning, becoming, trying to become who they will ultimately be, then they've missed the mark, because you're not, even in the military academies today, you have people who come in. Every one of them will come in if you've gained a spot in one of the military academies in the United States, you have a certain skill set, you have a certain knowledge set that puts you above many others. However,
Best of the best.
you still are an uneducated, unexperienced newbie coming in. I don't care how confident you are, your confidence is going to be shaken to its very core. If it's not, then you're not in the right place. You are not the person for that position.
No.
So Star Trek Academy, and the Academy is operating different in the mythos of Star Trek. The Academy in Star Trek is not like being chosen for the Naval Academy or the Air Force Academy or any of that.
Delta Force.
It is, well, Star Trek's, the Academy for Star Trek, everybody goes through the Academy. From the lowest level, you're coming in, you're going to be on the lower decks, you're going to the Academy, you're going to be taken through the Academy, and then you will progress to whatever level, at which point you will then be sent out into the fleet, sent out into the organization. So it's a different animal, it's a different character. So I'm waiting to see it. I want to see how they're going to portray this.
It's on YouTube.
Because if they take it that way, it'll be good.
They actually had it on YouTube for free, and they took it down because the humans were not kind. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, and quite frankly,
sorry,
that does not surprise me as far as the writing goes. But the other side of it is, once again, they've got Picardo, I guess, is in there as the Doctor again, as the holographic Doctor. I saw some brief clips, but they have got to develop all new characters with all new actors and actresses to take on these roles. Because what's the point? Admiral Picard is not going to be at Starfleet Academy teaching. William Riker is not going to be at Starfleet Academy teaching.
Right there.
All of these people
are
will not be.
This is the beauty of the original Star Trek series on. The pilot, Captain Pike. The series, Captain Kirk. However, Captain Pike is shown in the series. There's a whole episode. When you get to Next Generation, you have a completely different dynamic from Star Trek, which is what a lot of people don't really like. The beauty of each one of the shows and what they're missing in Discovery and what they're missing in, Jar Jar Abrams. I refuse to to accept any of his movies as canon because, for one, time travel, you've already pissed me off. And two, you can't just jump in. The stupidest thing about the first Star Trek movie with Chris Pine playing Kirk, which he did fine. He's a great actor. I love the Dungeons and Dragons movie. But they so drastically changed that universe. First off, the Vulcan... Eric Bana is a Romulan, and he shows up and he destroys Vulcan. You're telling me some rogue asshole with a time machine is able to destroy the most logical and intellectual planet in the entire existence of our world? That's the most...
This is the same... That same story has been brought forward. That same... The underlying reason why that would work has been in Star Trek canon since the beginning. What is the underlying problem with the Vulcans?
They suppress their emotions and devote their
the
life
Vulcans
to logic.
believe themselves to be infallible, and they are consistently shown that they are not infallible. And they come back, and they still make, and it's written into every Star Trek series that has been written. The Vulcans have always stepped forward and say, we know best. We know better than you. You need to do what we tell you to do. And then suddenly the humans come back and say, no, you were wrong about this. This is why this happened, and this is what's going on. And the Vulcans say, oh, well, perhaps you had an idea that was of value. And then they move on. And then the next time something happens, and the Vulcans come back.
You're mostly right.
Yeah, the Vulcans are the ones that are always... They're always correct until such time as they're shown that they're incorrect, in which point they say, well, that's an anomaly and we're still correct. So,
and don't get me wrong, the Klingons are my favorite race, but I do admire the Vulcans. I'd love to be able to control my emotions, which I have very little control over.
But even the Vulcans can't control their emotions. We've seen that as well.
And
so
that as well ended up for good storytelling in Star Trek III, the Search for Spock, and later with Picard and Saavik in the... I'm a total Trekkie nerd. But besides that, I went off on any time to bash J.J. Jar Jar Abrams. Pike.
Your Federation is showing.
I don't care. Kirk, Picard, and Riker, and then what do you get in the next one? Sisko. So Deep Throat 9 is a double-edged sword because, on one hand, the Kardashians are going to invade. It could happen. It's going to be... maybe next week. Oh, my God. The Bajorner's suffering. Here they come. But you've also got a very interesting dynamic with the space station in itself. And, okay, yeah, it qualifies as a ship, even though it's not really a ship. It's a flying space station, but let's just Tales the Floating Vagabond this and go on our meager way. And you've got a very good... I mean, that show could have continued forever because you've got the endless universe and a space station. You have all these different dynamics of the character personalities on the space station. Excuse me. They're major characters, and they totally complement each other in protagonist, antagonist, back and forth. Quark and Odo are working together in this episode, but in this episode, Odo is all pissed off at Quark, and he knows that he's smuggling, but he just can't prove it. So you've got that constant morning Ralph, morning Sam dynamic with Deep Space Nine that you don't have on the other... You don't have a crew member that's a problem until you get to Next Generation with Barclay. But through character development and an arc, he goes from being a problem to being an asset. When you get to Deep Space Nine, there's just conflicting characters, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not bagging on that. That's a great storytelling thing. But I have to admit that I have not seen as much of Deep Space Nine and Voyager as I wanted to because of work, but it's the same kind of thing where in all of the other Star Trek stories, the captain drives the narrative. He's the focal point, or she, in Janeway's case. They're the character that's the commonality between all the other characters and the plot in the entire, not just the 45 minutes of the show, but the entire life of the show, if you will. I hope you guys agree with me. I don't know. I could be wrong.
DS9 is wings in space. I mean, it really is. That's where DS9 kind of falls into a problem.
Oh my God,
it falls away from Star Trek in and of itself. DS9 is space truck stop because it never moves. It's always at the mouth of one of the few stable wormholes that exist that have been found in the universe. Yeah. So it's a great idea. It's a great thought. It's a great process. Everything happens in or around or within a specified distance of the space station. And so that's where they had the opportunity to create a little different dynamic. So In all of the other programs, you are centered around a starship, a vessel that is moving through space.
Yeah.
So everybody is moving through space, and it is a military vessel for all intents and purposes, because you have a very defined hierarchy, very defined structure. So everything has to go through the captain.
Yeah.
Because that is how it's done. So if you think of, all the movies that our parents loved, so In Harm's Way and all of those films, all those World War II, Korean War films, all of these had to go through a military hierarchy. So you had the captain, you had the admiral, you had the general, you had whatever the case may be. Deep Space Nine takes that away. So now you've got, at minimum, you have got 3 primary leadership roles on Deep Space Nine. You've got Odo, you've got Cisco, and then you've got Quark. Those are the 3 leaders that exist within that dynamic. So now you really have a space soap opera, because now you can pull in all of these other things, all of these other entities, but it's not, it's not always, my second cousin, who looks just like the guy who died last week, is now back, and he's going to make love to my now ex-wife, who's actually happens to be the sister of my third cousin.
Well, I mean,
bullshit.
You've got a great setup. Cisco, angry, impatient, single dad, trying to do the best for his child, totally bogged down by bureaucracy and bullshit. Odo, super old security officer who immediately jumps to conclusions because he's seen it all before. Quark, he's a Ferengi. Dude, they're great storytelling. Come over here, I'm not letting you in that room. It's too damn cold. Cats. Quark is yes, he's played by an amazing actor, but he's also incredibly real for how they are. What is it? The rules of acquirement, or whatever they have, with the Ferengi, they have such a savage society, much like the Klingons, that business is more important than honor.
Well, business is honor. That is taking the place.
Huh?
Yeah. Money, wealth equates to honor, as opposed to the Klingons look to honor as being battle. What have you done in combat? What have you done in war? That is where you earn your honor in their society.
Yeah.
In the Federation,
Ferengi,
honor comes about from what have you done for the greater good? What have you done to propel the Federation and the members of the Federation to a better place?
Yeah.
The Ferengi are the acquisition, the rules of acquisition.
Rules of acquisition.
How do I get money? How do I get value?
Here we go.
I have to have equivalency.
Once you have their money, you never give it back. Never spend more for an acquisition than you have to. Never allow family to stand in the way of opportunity. Keep your ears open. Small print leads to large risk. Oh my God. That should be taught on Earth. Opportunity plus instinct equals profit. Greed is eternal. A deal is a deal. I've always liked the Ferengi. They're just smarmy little businessmen that are like 3 times as strong as we are. That's one of my
what's
favorite...
funny is,
go ahead.
Even they grow in the life cycle of Deep Space Nine. Even the Ferengi, as an entity, not just individuals. I mean, you have individuals. You have Quark's nephew, who becomes becomes a member of the crew, and he's the first Ferengi to get into Starfleet. So all of that. These are wonderful things. These are great ideas. But again, you're looking at this, for the people that scream, oh, Star Trek has become woke. That's bullshit. Star Trek has always been woke. Star Trek was written in the 60s with a very, very specific, important reason. Star Trek was written with the idea to bring forward all these socially important ideas, put them before people, and tell these morality tales in such a fashion that I'm going to teach you how to be a good and moral human being, but I'm going to sneak it in there while you're watching all of these beautiful women in these short little skirts, and you're going to watch a black woman kiss a white man on television, and you're going to see all this shit. You're going to get excited, but you're going to learn something too. You're going to learn to not be a dick. And that was the biggest problem.
You watch.
So that's where so many people have a hard time with it. I got to watch it all the way through.
I would say that you watched Star Trek, the original series, for 4 reasons. 1, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a mason. 2, fascinating. Because you knew when Spock said that he was actually impressed with stuff. Because they even talk about it in one episode, and they're like, how come you never, freak out? And he's like, I do. Every time I say the word fascinating and raise an eyebrow, that's like Spock's version of ah! He doesn't freak out. He's only half human. 3, the women. You've pretty much covered that. 4, to watch Scotty get drunk and use his engineer skills to save everybody. That's fucking Star Trek.
Yep. But Star Trek has always been this morality tale. It was intended to be a morality tale from the very beginning. So when the people that run around screaming today, it's gone woke. When did it go woke? Bullshit. It's always been a morality tale. That has been the idea. Gene Roddenberry and his writing team wanted to push the envelope as much as the Marvel comic book folks wanted to push the morality envelope. They wanted to try and make a change in what they saw happening in the world, but in particular in the United States at the time, because there was so much unrest and there was so much difficulty. There were so many people there were people being killed in the streets on a regular basis.
It was
for no other reason than the fact that this guy doesn't look like me.
Dark times, Harry, dark times.
And that was really hitting hard on these people. So Stan Lee had written many in his Stan's, what was he calling them? Stan's
soapbox.
Soapbox. Mutants.
Stan's soapbox. He used to write about that so often because that was of grave concern to him. Gene Roddenberry knew he could never put that on television. No. Even Desi Lou is not going to let him say things like that openly.
Yeah.
But Lucy said, this is going to happen, and I like the way you're doing it. Let's just camouflage it a little bit so that the less initiated, less intelligent don't realize they're being educated between now and the time that the program is over.
Desi was like, Star Wars, whatever, but Lucy was like, Star Wars! Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go with it. We're going to make it happen. Star Trek is going to happen.
Sorry.
But that was the point behind that, and it has carried over. It's one of the few programs like that where that ideal has not been lost and has carried through. And so Star Trek has always looked at the ills and the mores that exist within the culture that they're trying to feed. So the first one was looking at the United States. When the Next Generation came about, there was a larger area that they could speak to. And suddenly, Europe was very interested. Asia was very interested in all of these things, so they could play a little deeper, a little harder. It took them 2 years to really develop their style.
Yeah.
But then they carried with it, and each of the ensuing programs. So, Star Trek Enterprise and Voyager and Deep Space Nine and all of these programs ran that same idea.
Yeah. I want to see Enterprise real bad because I didn't get to see it. Always like
Scott Bakula does a great job.
Scott Bakula is great in Quantum Leap and Unnecessary Roughness, the football movie, where he's a has-been quarterback and he comes back, and it was a fun sports movie.
So
there's good sports movies.
Yeah,
like basketball and The Natural.
This is the push that comes through that canon, through that programming.
Yeah.
And even I know you don't like the Abrams films, but your difficulties comes from your personal take on certain aspects, and I know you dislike Abrams because of some of the shit that he's pulled, and I can understand that aspect. Ultimately, though, they still followed the same idea. They carried that same passion, the same storytelling, and the same look for the the same look for the morality tale.
You're not the
and
only.
You can't bash the time travel, because if you're going to bash the time travel, you have to go all the way back
Star Trek 4,
to
I know.
all the original Star Trek, even the Star Trek. You forget the Star Trek television program and the fighter jet pilot and all the rest of that stuff. So time travel has always been a part of that.
I'll give you one more. Time travel is even in the Next Generation when they find that pod and there's those 5 people in it and 3 of them end up. One guy's the country singer, one guy's the business mogul, one guy's just like a mom, or one woman is just a mom.
That was the retelling of the original Khan tale, remember? Yeah. Because when they came upon the vessels with Khan and all of his people. But yeah, that's the same idea. Khan. That time travel has carried on through all of Star Trek. That has always been a point in there. And that's been another one that has actually been a point of contention with the Vulcans. Because the Vulcan directorate, the Vulcan science directorate, says that it is impossible. To have time travel. You may only travel forward. You may not travel backward.
I respect your opinion, and ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe. He's not the only friend I have that has told me I'm fucking wrong and insane, but I don't care. I still don't like Jar Jar Abrams.
There are directors that I can't stand too, and I...
Yeah, there's directors that I can't stand that have made really good movies, and there's actors that I fucking hate, but I can't stand Madonna, but she did a really good job in League of Their Own. Now, I won't watch her in Who's That Girl and Suddenly Susan or whatever the hell, I don't know. But...
What about Dick Tracy?
That movie's great, but it's Madonna. You can't polish a turd, Beavis. I'm sorry. She sings. Well, she's already known for singing. She plays a manipulative bitch. She's a manipulative bitch in real life. It's Kris. It's not that much of a stretch, man. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Madonna. I was a fan of hers with the first, like a Virgin, Who's My Lucky Star. But as time went on and things progressed, her ego got huge, but her talent kind of stayed the same. I give her respect. She had the Beastie Boys open up for her. That's something that I've never done. So, props to your status, but I don't have to be your fan just because you all right, good for you. All right. So, is that, I don't know, how much of a Madonna fan are you? I can't stand Rosie O'Donnell either, but she was also entertaining in that movie. They were a great, like, bitch girl pair, where they just sat and fucking complained about everything. That's like every office you go into in life.
I mean, League of Their Own was a good movie, but that's about it.
Yeah. I need to see the whole series of the movies that made us and watch those and add or to it, because there's movies that we quote that carry with us for the last 30 years, but then there was movies that the generation before us quoted. And
if you stop and look, many of the films that have lasted, that have carried forward, that have given those
right here.
continuous quotes or those continuous ideas are in some way, shape, or form a rehashing of a previous tale. But we've spoken of that. The first morality tales, the original Greek tragedies and comedies, the tales that even came before that, the similar types of tales that were being told in the Egyptian times, in the times before the Egyptian kingdom, when there was a split kingdom. These are the same tales that were being the same types of tales that were being told all around the Mediterranean, that were being told all around and throughout Africa at the time. They're a common storyline. The names change to fit the generation and the region that they're in. But it's always a similar tale. Yeah. This particular demigod, this particular human being, this particular god, these problems, these ideas, these changes, this growth that has to happen to get from here to there for us to learn the most valued lesson of this tale.
There we go. That's what Lucas learned off Joseph Campbell. You have to have a hero who starts out as a weakling, becomes strong. He has to leave, go on a quest, come back as a hero, kill his father, assume the throne, because the storyline of Luke in the books and the role-playing games and all that, and the storyline of the Abrams movies, they couldn't be further apart. They're a dichotomy. In the canon, Luke defeats Vader, and you have to remember too, and they put a meme about this lately when Carlo Gus from
Giancarlo Esposito.
He's a great character in Mando, and you don't really realize his level of terror when Luke shows up at the end of the second series. And nobody really puts that into perspective unless you've been a serious Star Wars fan. The rumors and the whispers in the galaxy is that Luke, by himself, went to the second Death Star, destroyed it, left, and he's the only one to be in the same room as Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. And there's no them. There's just Luke. So anybody who's any Empire or anything, even the suggestion of Luke Skywalker terrifies the shit out of them. It's like hearing the name Baba Yaga or Kaiser Soze or La Llorona he is a real boogeyman. He's the actual real boogeyman that's alive and exists. And it's why even Mark Hamill wasn't happy with the age, and he's right. Luke wouldn't just do that. Luke in the canon goes from destroying the Empire and then Mara Jade and all that, and then there's a point where he becomes worse than Vader and destroys a whole lot of stuff, and he becomes uber powerful, and then he realizes how evil he's become, and he turns back to good. And, dude, that's enough story right there. You don't need to make Luke this useless recluse on this, you can't find the planet. Well, you did that in the first 3 movies. Younglings, Obi-Wan lost the planet he has. You're just rehashing the same. I mean, I know there's only so many plots, but,
Yeah, I think I disagree with you in a certain
that's
aspect.
Okay. You can disagree
You're
with me
making the statement that Luke had turned to the dark side. He had done these horrible things. And then he'd come to this revelation. After that revelation, where would he go to try and find himself again? What would he do to ensure that he could not be taken to that level
Valid
once
question.
again?
And what does he do in canon? He reopens the Jedi Order. What does he do in Abrams? He becomes a weirdo recluse on an island with the balloon.
But if you watch in the Abrams, he talks about how he had started to rebuild the Jedi Order. He was trying to train, and he had taken acolytes. He had taken in.
Yes.
And who was the one that had destroyed all of that? Because he sensed within his nephew danger and death. And so that was when the Jedi, the new reclaimed Jedi Order, had been destroyed on the planet. because
Fair enough.
he now had taken the tact, and he had explained later on in the next film. He acknowledges, yes, I went to a dark place because I was going to kill my nephew, thinking that would put right the balance in the Force. So could it have been done better? Oh, by far. But the other side of it is we would end up with, rather than 9 films, 29 films to tell all of those tales.
Fair enough.
Now, the other thing that comes into play is people claim canon from all of these books and tales and comics. Who wrote the original stories?
Lucas.
Who wrote all of this additional canon that so many people hold up and claim to be the true tales that were never put forward by Lucas?
So, Kris.
Everything before Disney is expanded universe. None of that is canon.
I disagree.
So only the original 6 films, 1 through 6.
What about the Ewok adventure?
The Clone Wars cartoon and Rebels
are
considered canon, but everything else before that is all expanded universe and what they call legend.
And that makes it, to my way of thinking, that's what makes the Star Wars universe, and it's aptly named the Star Wars universe, exceptional. So none of the films that have come out can truly be said were horrible. Rogue One, okay, no, that still follows really canon. Good. That still carries along with, because you've opened it up to the universe. I'm no longer saying this particular person is Luke Skywalker's, third cousin twice removed, who went to college at. No, bullshit. What we're saying is that these are all tales and stories and things that happen, and these are all the eye-opening, the aha moments for so many who lived in this universe and realized the Empire is bad, or hey, I really fit with these guys that want to wear the black outfits. I'm going to go ahead and do this character.
I'm going to go this way. Alien race in the galaxy. Space Nazis.
The stories that were told outside of Luke and Leia and Han and Vader, and that core group, their tale is canon for them. All of these other folks that got pulled in, Andor was not part of any of the rest. He came in, became Mando. Traditionally, in all honesty, Boba Fett had a touch to this and came back out again and went about doing things and returned. So we've got to remember that all of this existed. This is much bigger than the tale of 5 people.
Yeah.
This is not 5 guys in space.
5 guys in space. Medium array.
So that's what I like about.
Huh?
That's what I like about some of the Star Trek stuff too, is the opportunity that's being taken to tell some of the tales outside of Enterprise A, Enterprise B, Enterprise C, D, E, F, and beyond. We're also looking at some of these other tales that transpire outside of that, because again, we're trying to build the universe.
Yeah.
The DC universe, the Marvel universe, all of these. There's got to be more than just this myopic view of, I've got 10 people and this is who we're going to follow.
Yeah.
And nobody else exists except as background flavor. Your background color, stay over there and eat that ice cream cone.
No, to support your Droids. Droids was a cartoon that was on Sunday morning that only involved R2 and C-3PO, and they got into all kinds of trouble. And
what is it? A meme that I've seen and a question that I've seen is there's the droid unit, the R2 unit that is in it's one of the characters from the cartoon, and the droid is orange, and they say that the droid itself, that R2 unit, is actually a homicidal maniac because he has killed thousands of different people.
The
And he's just-
BB-88 or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and he's just not a happy droid, and he has, he is what's the penguin, Kowalski from the Penguins of Madagascar?
Kowalski.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's Kowalski's. Boom. Yeah, go ahead. Boom.
Oh, no. Who's that guy? Rico. Okay, Rico. Kaboom.
That's right. Okay,
Kaboom.
Rico.
Yeah, Kowalski's the brains.
That's right. So he's Rico. So
Kowalski's-
they can
Yeah.
turn him loose and just
Yeah.
go ahead, kill all those guys on that ship over there.
I love
Why?
the guy
'Cause
that-
fuck them.
I love the guy that does the skipper. Kowalski's done by Dietrich Bader. I can't remember who Private is, or Rico for that matter. But yeah, Rico is the best. Yeah, kaboom! He always wants to blow everything up, and he rarely talks.
He's the
We'll have
Hulk
to use
by
the
comparison.
penguin credo. That's the walrus credo. Oh. Rico kind of fills the Harpo Marx pantomime psychotic chaos mute character.
Rico is the Hulk.
He's the
Big fiery monster. No, leave him alone.
No. Or Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah.
Play drum. No, Animal. We're not gonna play drum.
Animal, go get your stuff back.
Stuff back.
Did you watch the Mayhem show on Disney Plus?
No, not yet.
No? It's
The
just about the
Electric
Electric Mayhem. Yeah, it's literally just about them.
That's awesome. They need their own show.
And they all go their separate ways.
Oh no.
It was cute. It was cute, and then they break up, and then they all come back together, and they perform and everything. Like
do
thought it was-
we,
yeah.
man? Janice. For sure, man.
The Mayhem need to have some new albums. They need to have at least one new album.
Yeah.
that would be awesome if
With
they
what
did.
new songs?
Here's I'm going to throw out the world's best collaboration.
We should
Go
do
for
that.
it.
So we get Weird Al.
Uh-huh. Okay, already
Right, some
winning.
stuff.
Okay.
We let Lady Gaga write some stuff because she is a pretty damn good writer.
She's pretty.
I
Yeah.
would get Elton John to write some stuff, and then start figuring out some great band collaborations. I mean, if I was going to have my fun, I would take something like Five Finger Death Punch and let them play with the Electric Mayhem, and Animal have a field day.
Okay, hold on. Electric Mayhem, besides the orchestra for the Muppet Show, is technically a house band. So the possibilities.
They are,
Well, the possibilities.
except
They're endless.
Teeth and Zoot. What's the guitar player's name?
Zed.
Zed.
And
Are
Janice.
Very long in the tooth, very, very highly respected in the canon.
In the Muppet
They are
world.
very highly respected 60s rockers.
So keep it a
and
60s
they-
theme.
And they landed at the Muppets because that was where they could find a place where they could continue to work. I would turn them loose and let them have fun with anything, and just have a fit. I mean, think about who would Animal fit in better with, but a nice heavy metal band. Let him go bonkers. Teeth. I mean, if you could do it, Teeth would go with a funk band. Let them just go crazy. Zoot, I could see Zoot having a field day with Lady Gaga, just going crazy with the horns, man.
If you did like a variety show type, I think it would be fun. I think it would be a good showcase. But then again, that's just kind of like the Muppet Show second edition, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a program. I want albums. I want the music.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Because that was always fun, yeah. Let them do covers and let them do new songs. And I think because they're bringing back the show, it would be an opportunity to put some more music out.
Yeah.
And let that group have a field day. And think about this.
Be an epicomer. Sorry.
How many bands playing today that grew up would love to have the opportunity to play for the Electric Mayhem, even if it's just like, okay, well, we're going to get Dr. Teeth is going to sing on this song, but you guys get to go ahead and play the music. I'm in.
Yeah, really, it's not a hard sell.
Dave Grohl. Yeah, Linkin Park would have a field day. Grohl would go in there.
Grohl would be my first choice, honestly. Yeah. I mean, Dave is...
And just let him have a field day. Let him have a good time.
Who else?
Linkin Park.
Yeah. Saint Martel.
Or Disturbed.
Disturbed would be a good one.
Disturbed.
All of your fun theatrical bands, any one of those would be good.
Oh, Volbeat could have a good time with them.
This is one I don't listen to, but I think it would be freaking hilarious. Gwar.
There you go.
I knew you were going to say that.
Another fun one would be The Who, which is the Mongolian band.
Oh, yeah.
Although
I saw them open for My Finger Death Punch.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Mongolian throat singing.
Yes. They're on Tuesday. Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I just saw tickets go on sale for those.
That could be a really good time.
Yeah. Oh man. Now you got me thinking, Rob.
We're far away from Star Trek and Star Wars, though.
No, we're not. We're blending cultures.
Can you picture that?
We are blending cultures. Here you go. All right. Now my brain, we're going to blend some cultures hard.
No, God. All I'm doing is reliving all the songs that
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Nichelle Nichols sing in the original Star Trek. The green glow of space. Oh, God.
I would like to have the Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem play with other bands to redo the all of the old songs that we grew up with. Conjunction, Junction, and I'm Just a Bill. All the Schoolhouse Rock stuff.
And his name is Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla, and he has does he have a kangaroo? Yes. No. Yes, he has the kangaroo. His sister has the aardvark, and the guy singing the song has a rhinoceros pronouns.
And let him do some of the Shel Silverstein stuff. Modernize the Shel Silverstein.
Shel Silverstein, where the sidewalk ends.
And Sarah Sylvia Cynthia Stout
would not take the garbage out. Out at Ren Fair, there was a guy who had a stage show, and his name was Blazin' Bill. And Bill was amazing. And we met Bill early on. Wow, you've got throwing knives. Hey, can I throw your throwing knives? When we very first met him on the first Friday before the very first day of fair back in 93? 94? It was before Hannah was born. Because he came down from Prescott. Okay, you could throw my knives, but only if I get to throw them at you first. What? Well, that's my gig. I do magic and knife throwing and whip cracking and all the... Bill had a whole variety show. He would eat fire, and every single night he would join our camp and he would recite Shel Silverstein's Baba Fats to the point where we memorized most of it because we heard it so often because he loved that poem.
Yeah.
And that poem has a lot of truth in it for the modern work. Go, I'll kick your guru ass. Go to the land of Zombali. Why did you tell him all those lies? Because it's easier to sell a believer a bunch of lies. They don't want to hear the truth. They won't believe the truth. If you tell them the secret to life is inside themselves, they won't believe you. Shel Silverstein is the greatest gift that nobody ever talks about. From Sesame Street to all of his books. It's a shame. Because, he was a mainstay. I had teachers all through elementary school reading his poems to us. I really hope they still do. I mean,
we had all the books when I was growing up. They were up on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because that was something my parents wanted. My parents were very much... Both of my parents were educators. My father was a command officer in the Air Force, but he had been through war college. He had been through, he had multiple degrees, master's degrees. My mother was an educator. She had her master's degree in special education and education, all that. So there was all of that. My father made sure that I watched Looney Tunes on Saturday. And my father would take me to the symphony on Thursday nights. My father would take me to the opera. My father would take me to all of these because that was his thing. He wanted me to know. They wanted me to watch Doctor Who and Benny Hill because they wanted me to understand these things. They wanted me to know the nuances. They wanted me to be able to figure these things out. My father would sit and watch Wallace and Ladmo with me because he wanted to make sure that I understood this is funny to me, and here's the reason why. It's funny to you, and here's the reason why. My father had his degree in psychology and all the rest of this stuff. So growing up, I never thought anything of it. I had Psychology Today magazine sitting around the house. I used to read them.
Yeah.
So it was a normal thing.
That was normal. That was every day. Yeah.
So, that became very important. And that's why I love some of that stuff because it's incredible how it teaches you. So you had the Shel Silverstein and you had some of these others. They were not. People think that they tend to be a little diametrically opposed, but think about Mr. Rogers, Shel Silverstein, approaching the same path, the same idea, the same endpoint, slightly different pathways.
Yeah,
and telling you the same tale.
Mr. Rogers prepared us for D&D and Traveler before we even realized that we were being prepared for it, because his show and Sesame Street and others were down for the, okay, kids, we're about to have a group hallucination. Here we go to make-believe land.
I want you to use your mind, expand your thought process. Exactly.
Yeah.
Romper Room and the Electric Company, Sesame Street, and all of these programs that were later changed for a new generation with, was it the Magic School Bus and some of these others, where I'm going to take you someplace and I'm going to show it to you, but they had a better platform. If I can draw it in a 30 frame, 45 frame per minute fashion, I can help you to move into that world of make-believe a little easier. Mr. Rogers didn't have that. So Mr. Rogers had a team that was able, he could make, and then he had people help him make these beautiful puppets. And then they could carry it on, and they could do certain aspects within the background. So, Frank Oz and those guys, they were just crazy enough that they could make puppets, and then they could make the minimalist backgrounds that would help you to start developing your own imagination of what would it look like if the aliens, what would the real background look like when the two aliens, when the Yips find the telephone, when the yips find the doorbell, you know.
Yeah, I love those. Those aliens are the best aliens in all of entertainment.
The aliens with phenomena. I mean, we all know that. So those were all incredible bits and pieces, but they.
Puppets have always been a good medium for. Puppets are so ingrained in our culture that adults respond to them better than children do.
Well, and that's why the ventriloquist comedy really picked up in the late 80s, but blew up in the 90s and carried forward. Because we got used to seeing that. We could run with it. When we were kids, we caught the beginning of it on Wallace and Ladmo locally.
Wow.
Because you had...
What's his name?
You had Dan Horn.
And
Dan Horn.
I disagree because pre-Dan Horn, and you brought it up already, in the Looney Tunes is, Chester MacArthur? He was the little guy with a monocle and a top hat, and he was in a suit, and the guy was his ventriloquist. And then that went off to Madam. If you remember, Madam,
I remember Madam,
even had her own show.
But they were one or two. So you had had that existed. Like you said,
it was there. It just wasn't.
It was one or two, but it didn't blossom. It wasn't as mainstream. But now, then, it came back. It became acceptable through Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, because now I could take a puppet, and the puppet you could speak to, and but it was geared towards children, and it became acceptable as children.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, Captain Kangaroo, all of your Pinwheel, Nickelodeon. There was a bunch of different puppety characters.
But you know where Dan Horn made a lot of his money? During the tail end of, and then after.
No, I don't.
Wallace and Ladmo, Dan Horn was doing the comedy club circuits.
Really?
So he was doing adult comedy with Orson and Cassandra, and all of his characters carried through. And he was one, at that time, there were a lot of these folks that were making the circuits. But now think about it, you've got ventriloquist comedians who are out there selling out huge arenas for the last decade or more.
Jeff Dunham and Nina Conti are probably the biggest two. I love Nina. Oh my God, her and Monkey are hilarious. And then she has like a grandmother character that she talks to. But the highlight of Nina's show is when she pulls people out of the audience and puts those fake jaws on them. And then she uses that, and she basically, they're just standing there, and she makes I'm so excited, and she makes all these funny voices come out of the people, and the people are trying to keep a straight face, but it's just not working.
And that has become, and that's because our generation is the one, and those that we brought up behind us are the ones that are filling those seats.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Rogers began it with us. I mean, Howdy Doody was to a point, but not nearly what Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers had an entire pantheon. He had an entire group that we learned to believe in. Then Sesame Street, Grover, and Cookie Monster, and Bert and Ernie, and all of these characters, we learned to.
Cecil,
these were human. They were real.
And they were. What was it? Hold on, we missed one too. What was it?
Well, if you want to have a field day, you can even take it to HR Puffin stuff.
HR Puffin stuff. No. Oh God, what's it? Cecil, Fran, and Ollie, or Kukla, Fran,
and Ollie.
Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. That was another. Or what I remember, and one of the I remember Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street. But for me in Philadelphia, being 0 to 6, the New Zoo Review and the Banana Splits were on a lot.
The Banana Splits were part of that whole program with because you had Sigmund and the Sea Monster, and you
That's
had all of the
thank
rest
you.
of these characters.
Sigmund and the Sea Monster. But
That was all part of that H.R. Puffin stuff. They ran with that and had a field day with the Croft Super Show. The Croft brothers, who's eventually
they
were kind of a sad story.
Don't they make the Slee Stacks and Land of the Lost as well? Aren't they?
They had done those, and
I remember
they were the precursors to.
Wasn't it Dyna Girl or something like that?
Yeah, that was a superhero. The two women.
Yeah, the chick with the little
Electra and Dyna Girl.
Yeah. But you were talking about puppets. One of the local artists' wife makes puppets.
Really?
And she accompanies him to shows like Fanfusion and Tucson, and she sells out every single time.
Yep.
Every single time. She'll bring like 20 puppets for the weekend.
So the ex-wife...
They sell out every single time. It's insane.
I believe you. I believe it. So
that's why I love the Bauhaus program that I talked about, because you've got this group of Eastern Europeans who came here. They've come here over the last 50 years, and some of them escaped the Iron Curtain and came here, and they've brought others. They've helped others to come in, but they are still doing those handmade marionette puppets, and they create new ones for every program, every event that they do. And again, that's another one that it's fascinating, because we still will humanize that creature, that creation that has nothing beyond the art form that the person behind it is able to portray in it. But to our way of thinking, for those 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's a full escape. And that is now the person I'm watching. That is Beelzebub. That is the princess. That is the great knight.
No, you're right, because before them, and they're still on, and I constantly post stuff for them, is the Great Puppet Theater, the Great Society on 3rd Street and the freeway. And I learned about them when oldest child was in elementary school and still went to all their shows. So it's a theater and a museum and a gift shop all in one. And they do full-length productions where, when youngest child was really little, we went and saw Roald Dahl's BFG, the Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
And they did an amazing job with, like, the one guy played the giant, but Sophie, I believe, is the main character. She was there dressed as the character, and she would talk in the beginning, but when the giant appeared, she was a puppet. And the kids just totally went along with it. So Christine joined Voices of the Desert. And Voices of the Desert puts on musical performances throughout the year. It's a choir and a chorus, and they do musical numbers. Christine and a couple of the others were like, every time we do a appearance and we bring a bunch of us and we sing a bunch of songs, they have puppets that are they're a more modernized version of Orson and Cassandra and the rest of Dan's cast.
Yep.
But even all of the people in the choir, because I had talked to them for a while, friendly with Keith, and go see Voices of the Desert. They put on a great show. But the guys that are in the men and women that are in the group are like, it's amazing how people ignore the puppeteer and they only want to talk to the puppet.
Exactly.
It's almost on a psychotic level. Oh, they only want to talk to the puppet.
It's the purest and the fastest way to regress someone to the 3, 4, 5-year-old child. That's why it has become incredibly prevalent in psychology and psychiatry. When working with both adults and children, it becomes very simple to work with a child who has dealt with some form of trauma, because now it's no longer me. I'm not the therapist. I'm not the psychiatrist. I'm not the doctor. You're talking to Daniel Tiger.
It's interesting that you went for the first response, because the second response is the parental vibe, where when people talk to a puppet, they immediately assume a parental role. Well, why are you at, like if the puppet is close to a Daniel Tiger type and frail and, manipulative and weak and, childlike and all that, that human will assume a parental role when interacting with that puppet. It's fucking bizarre. But it's not that far away. If you met a child that was without a parent on the street and you're like, oh, well, hello, where are your parents? You become an authoritarian without any cue cards.
That is also one of the most ready one of the most ready tests for the psychological condition of a person. Yeah. If you want to find out quickly who that person is, you can present them with the puppet, the toy, character, and you can ask them to interact with it, to identify it, to give a name, a story, a tale, a backstory to it. And that is one of the most telling things that you can do to find out about somebody, because you will learn very quickly the deepest idiosyncrasies and problems in that person's life, their traumas, and their psychiatric makeup, just through that simple interaction.
A puppet is a very interesting lens in our society. It magnifies a lot of stuff that we're not ready to deal with.
Oh, and it's been around. That's another one that's been around literally for tens of thousands of years. That form of entertainment and that form of communication has been around for a very long time. From the days of, I'm going to show you, this is the finger puppet. This is how something occurred.
Let's go deep. Let's go real deep, because in a couple of weekends, it's off and running. Dead Bob out at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. You two are familiar, I take it? You've seen a show? No.
I've never been to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, my God. Well, that's probably a good thing, because you'd walk out
I think
with
you can find some of it on YouTube, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Bob out at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, and he did not start at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. He actually comes out in about 93 or 94, and it was Clark back then. Now it's a different guy. So it's a ventriloquist act, but it's not a ventriloquist act. It's a puppet show, because Smudge is the guy, and he's covered in a burlap outfit, and it's supposed to resemble rags, and it does a very good job, but he's mic'd, and he has a burlap covering his face, so you never know what the guy looks like. Bob is a skeleton in lower nobility merchant clothes. He's got the flat cap with a feather. He's got a vest. He's a skeleton. And the whole show is the Dead Bob show. And the first thing he does is, it's probably the most audience interactive, audience participation show out there, because literally every fifth line of the show is, "Hey, audience!" And the audience responds with, "Hey, what?" So the whole beginning of the show, he picks people out of the audience, and he talks about himself, and he sings a song, and he does these other couple things, but he picks one male and two females. And then he gets them up on the stage, and he uses the audience to put peer pressure on them so they will get up on the stage. And then he does two things. His show has an interesting psychology. Dead Bob is a rerun. It's a rerun in the strictest sense of a rerun and a sense of all of the other shows that have been out there since the late 80s or the early 90s. The public doesn't want these shows to change. It doesn't want them to modify. Every time, long before the guy now, I know I'm giving a lot of his secrets away, but dude, we're all going to go out there because we love it. Love the Renaissance Festival. I've been out there for 11 years. I'm going to be working at the Pirates Plunder this year, the entire run. I'm going to be a pirate.
You got the job.
Oh, yes. Well, I didn't want to say anything, but it's official.
Congrats.
Tatton and Frenchie have been emailing me, and I'm going to go get my pass this week or next week, so thank you. Yay! 2 jobs. Soon to be 3. But at least that one's fun. So every time Smudge, Dead Bob, every time the Dead Bob show changes, he loses his audience. They leave. They want exactly the same show 5 times a day, every day for the weekends for 2 months. They don't want it to change. So, this guy's the master. The first time I saw the show in 93 or so, Jason and I and a couple of other veteran street characters, we were appalled, disgusted, and jealous all at the same time. Yeah, this is brilliant. Brilliant! He's got the puppet. He's got the puppet the whole time. He brings the 3 people on the audience. He makes them do the Zombie Olympics, where they have to do various stuff, dance and things like that. And then he tells the story of Ned, who is a moron and mostly sits around playing kick the dirt all the time. And the 2 women are Sweet Mary Oatblossom and the seductress Fifi. And they act out the story that he tells. The story is the same story since the early 90s. Then the show is over. He hands each one of these 3 participants, they're basically bird nets or moth, like capturing butterflies or moths or birds. They're the long stocking, with a circle and a stick and wood. And they collect all of his money. Because you pass the hat at the end of every show, and he has... So not only does he have the same show that's all the same all the time, then he picks 3 people out of the audience and they get all of his hat for him and bring it to him at the end of the show. Why didn't I think of that? It's watching it for 30 years. It's Dead Bob. Watching it for the first time. Seriously. I wish I could go back in 93 and watch the show for the first time all over again. Because it's vaudeville comedy genius. He took a stand-up act, made a puppet, a fake ventriloquist act, and rakes in thousands of dollars every half an hour for 2 months. And then he's on to the next location.
Wow.
My brother-in-law has memorized the show. He heard it so many times. Yeah. Zilch, Terry Foy, a man that I have deeply respected from 1990 on till today. Terry still is Zilch the Tory Steller, and he tells half-hour fairy tales in spoonerisms. He's the Tory Steller, where you take the first letters of the words of 2 different words and switch them around. Chief of police, instead of chief of police, Pief of Chalice. So he tells, instead of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, it's Woldiglocks and the Bree Trares. Instead of Cinderella, it's Rindersella. It's not the 2 ugly stepsisters, it's the Futugly Ep sisters. So there was a reverend a long time ago, Reverend Spooner, that came up with this switching the letters of words around for his sermons, and it became super popular. And Terry can do it like he does it all the time. It's just, and then he turned in the late 70s, early 80s, he turned it into a show for a half an hour, and now he spent the last 40 years touring America doing shows. And Terry Foy has pretty much an eidetic or photographic memory. I've never met anybody that can point to people and say their full name and remember that for decades. Decades. People he's only known for a season. People he's only known for a couple days. He remembers them for decades. Decades. So he does Cinderella, Goldilocks, and then he does Romeo and Juliet, or as he says it, Jomeo and Juliet. So he does multiple half-hour shows all day long. When I auditioned in 1990, not only was he doing all of his shows and an opening show and a closing show, he was also the entertainment director for the entire Renaissance Festival, which meant he oversaw all of the stage acts and all of the street characters. Dude, that's a fucking nightmare, okay? That's 23 acres of actors that you have to make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be. He's so respected that everybody just did what they... You don't want to disappoint him. You have so much respect for him that you want him to see you doing a good job. And that's not like him pushing that on you. That's like, oh, if Terry comes by, we need to really be, giving it our best, because he was loved by everybody. Because he's one of us in the end. I mean, yeah, he's famous, but he's still just a normal dude. I mean, I've had probably not a million, probably had over 100 conversations with him since 1990. Now he plays Santa Claus because he's older than I am, I have his DVD. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh, there he is. There's Terry. Zilch the Tory Stellar. Unfortunately, all these videos are in North Carolina, not in Arizona, but hey, that's okay too. Because the beauty of his show, and it's fucking amazing. He starts 5 minutes before his show starts. Then he does 20 minutes of his show. In the beginning, he doesn't have a really big audience because unless you know who he is, people are like, what the hell is a Tory Stellar? What is that? Or Tory Cellar. 20 minutes into his show, he's got standing room only. Standing room only. So in 20 minutes, he stops and recaps the entire 20 minutes he just did, and then continues on with the show. Let me catch you up for the people who have just arrived, and then he'll speed talk 20 minutes of what he just did, and then continue with the show. So by the time he's done, everybody's like, oh my God! Because, do you remember the Micro Machines guy? The guy that can talk really fast? Terry can do that.
Yeah.
Terry can do that. Besides doing the spoonerisms. So listening to him in 5 minutes tell you what just happened in 20 minutes. First they went over there, and you're like... So it's... The Ren Fair isn't just about going shopping and looking at the blacksmith and seeing the jousts, and it's a community. You've got a whole bunch of people that have been out there since the 80s that are still performing, still have shops, still have shows. I mean, the rosters have changed forever, but one of the most amazing stories is a friend of mine, Bill Meldrum, and he used to be the ASU drumline captain, and he is one of the official drummers for the Renaissance Festival. He gets up there with the toms and the big kettle drums, And Antonio used to do it with him, but unfortunately he's no longer, I don't think he's with us anymore. And not only did Bill do Gypsy Magic and Shahi Tukri and all of these other gypsy shows and the 3 jousts, eventually he made his own show that's out there hopefully this year. I haven't checked. I probably should have looked this up before I started spouting about how proud I am about my friends. But 3 guys and a bunch of drums is a major show out there, and it's Bill and sorry, 2 other guys. I'm terrible. I know. Well,
you're forgetting.
I know their names, and I've sat in the smoke pot with. Anyway, it's this weird communal backstage thing, but. Dude, they're super successful. They're a really popular show. They show the stage with the Wild Men, which the Wild Men are these guys from Kansas City, and they're hilarious. And their whole show is a make-believe show. Like they're dressed in like burlap and rags, and they tell you this story about a weird professor and his giant albino squid that go on all these adventures, and it's insanity, but it's also professional wrestling, because these guys have been a stage act in Kansas City forever, and it's a totally different show. In Kansas City, they're like the manly show of manliness, where the one guy is like the living embodiment of the Tick, only for the Renaissance, and he's more like the cartoon Tick, where he's philosophical, but it's all about being a man and being manly, where they come out here to Arizona, and they're these weird, like, peasants that tell this story about a crazy professor. What's really cool about their show is they have a pit in front of the stage, and the pit is actually a stage pit. So in the back, it's got a tunnel, and they actually pull a guy, one of the actors, out of the mud pit. And he comes out of the mud pit, and he fights the other guys, and the one guy plays drums while the other 2 dudes are having a mock battle. And it's all entertaining. I mean, it's funny. With the beauty of it's weird me going back 11 years, because the Renaissance Festival to me is like movies or music, where everything that I experienced are bubbles of time. A lot of my friends that I absolutely love are no longer with us, and a lot of people that I did Ren Fair and I was super tight with, I barely talk to them on Facebook, or I've lost contact with them completely. Not because, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to paint myself out as this awesome human. I pissed off a lot of people, but a lot of times you just lose track of other humans. You don't mean to. It's just what happens. You grow apart, you do other stuff, and then, I wonder what happened with John and Mike, and I wonder where they are. But dude, they just gone doing their own thing. So it's weird to come back into it, and now this is going to be even stranger. I don't really know anybody. I mean, I know people in groups and people in shops, but that's not the same as the street character community that's a lot like the cosplayer community out at the Fan Fusion, and they all know each other. They all, hey, let's go do this. The difference is like, Kris, you and I are street characters. I'm a juggler and you're a guitar player. And we're in the same area for a half. It's 11 o'clock, so you and I have to be in area 6. And the first couple weekends, we're doing our own thing, but after the 3rd weekend, you and I realized that we make more money if we work together. So all of a sudden, you and I are hanging out and talking, and we're like, oh, dude, you see that old couple over there? Yeah, well, we need to go over there, and you need to, here, play this song, and I'll badly sing all these lyrics. We'll pose with them for a picture, and maybe they'll give us $1. So we go over there and we do that, and we entertain the shop, the shopkeeper, the people. Everything's great. They end up giving us $2. We go off in we have an area from this shop to this shop is section 6. from the porta-johns to this area, or the flush toilets now. That's 7, and then 8, and so it's broken up into half-hour time increments and sections of the fair for street characters. So for a half an hour, you're on your own, but you need to do what you auditioned for at the fair. If you're a pirate, you need to go be a pirate. If you're a violin player, you put a basket down and you start playing like crazy, hoping a drummer like me or Vosh or one of the other random drummers will walk by and, oh, a violin player! And maybe she'll give me a cut of her tips, but I helped draw a crowd. You know, it's that whole, you're there to entertain the public, and as a street character, it's very communal. As you're a stage character, it's more rigid because you have 7 shows a day. You opening gate, then your 5 shows, closing gate, and if you have an hour or two, maybe you'll help another performer out on a stage, or most of the time you put a basket down and you start busking for tips, and you start playing the best, the songs that everybody plays the best. That's what you do on the street because you're begging for money, basically. So it's a vast change, just for a dichotomous comparison, as opposed to doing the haunted house, where the first couple of years in 89 and 90, well, I didn't do 2000. Holy crash. You all right, Rob? That was a really loud noise.
It was. Put up his screen.
It blew up my headset. It was like, but you still saw the green. So the haunted house at first, when I got there, it was this is my hallway. Don't go into my hallway. This is my area. And this is my. Oh, that's not gonna fly with me. I'm a team player. Like, I remember asking Matt Splat, it's like, hey, when I do that, you've been watching my act. I watch you through the wall. When I say this, will you come up and go, ugh, or grunt in the customer's ear? In your room? Yeah, if you would do that, that would be awesome. I think it would really add. Do something in your room when you're supposed to. Yeah, it's all right, dude. It's fine. You can do stuff in my room if I'm telling you it's okay. I think it would be great and would add to the whole, hey, I'm the devil. If I had somebody come up behind and grunt and scare them forward. And this working together was an alien concept to haunted house people because it's drilled into their head that they're a prima donna, that they're a number one character in their room. Let me go check in the other room. I heard a noise that didn't sound like a cat. That, and I have to use the restroom. Please forgive me. Hold on. Fill in for me, guys.
Are you okay, Rob? We heard some banging around over there.
Oh, I had to go use the restroom and then clean up a couple of things and see what was making the dogs so excited.
What was it? Something fun?
No, it was life, the universe, and everything. Somebody's moving somewhere in the valley. I got to get them.
So I did my show on Saturday.
How did that go?
It went horribly. I only made one sale.
Oh.
But my booth mates were mother and son, Rick and Damian Foreman. They're writers here in town. Rick writes some books, and then Damian writes some books, and then they have a book that they wrote together and stuff like that. But they also sell books and movies and stuff. And I decided to grab a couple books from them.
Huh? Okay.
And I thought I would share them. Since I was off running around. Run to the bathroom. Probably remember this one. The Black Hole.
Oh, yes.
Love this movie. I saw this in the theater. I remember seeing that in the theater.
Yep.
This is one that they recommended to me. I've never heard of it, but Bad Moon.
Bad Moon. Who's in it?
You're gonna make me put on my glasses, man.
Mine are in the other room.
Can't even see.
Yeah, I hear you. We're getting old, and the LASIK hasn't caught up yet. There'll be like, a 5-minute. Look at this light. What? Oh, I got 2015 again. Thank you. Holy shit.
Oh man, I can't even see who's in this one. I'm sorry.
I miss 2015 vision, and I miss, now that I'm 53, I don't have any more visual purple. I used to be able to have like low light vision. Now that I'm old, it's all gone. I can't see anything in the dark anymore.
Look, Bill, look what I got.
Yes! I love that movie. Oh, sorry, Stella. I didn't mean to. Stella's baby. I just scared the shit out of the cat.
Another classic. Rob might know that one.
The Night of the Lupus. Night of the Lupus, when giant rabbits ravage the earth and destroy humanity.
All right. I think we might have mentioned this one last weekend.
Okay.
John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars.
Mars.
Yeah.
I still need to see that. I heard it was really good. Have you guys watched it?
It's bad.
It's bad?
It's bad.
Oh.
It's
bad movies can be good.
It's if nothing else, it's a midnight movie. It really is.
Right. And then a classic John Carpenter.
Snake.
In New York.
Snake
Now
Plissken.
this is actually going to get autographed.
Really?
By Kurt Russell.
Nice.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I
Bianca Thompson, who runs
Horses
Assembled the Horror Fest.
Yeah.
She is personal friends with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Really?
Nice.
He goes to their
at
least once every couple months.
The ranch in Wyoming?
Yep. No, in California.
They have a new one?
They have a house in California that also they make their own wine.
Really? Good for them.
Yes. Kurt Russell created a wine for Goldie Hawn's charity that she had.
I love Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn together. They're like Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick. They're just like they're just like into one another. That's so cute. I love that.
Yeah, she had like this past year, but the year before had like autographed stuff from Kurt Russell that was auctioning off.
Really?
Horrorfest. Yeah. Yeah, like Escape from New York posters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, God, it's hard to pick a favorite Kurt Russell movie because from the Elvis and the computer that wore tennis shoes and that and Big Trouble in Little China. Tombstone is it's hard to pick like that or Soldier. Soldier is one of my favorite Kurt Russell movies, and everybody's like, he barely does anything. He's playing a guy who's got severe psychological problems. Yeah. He's seen way too much death and murder, and never once has he been hugged. That guy's got problems. And he did. You believe him. You believe that he is separate from society. And even when he's on the planet and he gets to where the people are, he doesn't know how to interact with them. And
this is called what? Soldier?
Soldier. You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Damn it. I need to get Chris needs to see these movies later.
You need to give me a list.
True Romance. Yeah, Soldier. It's a sci-fi, far in the future. So they get Kurt Russell when he's like, what is he, like an embryo or a fetus, or is he born? I think he's born. He's like a baby, like a swaddling infant.
Okay.
And he is part of this platoon. And Todd, they call him Todd. And he is the best at solving puzzles. He's the best at cutting his emotions off. He's the best at problem solving. And he, out of all of his platoon, he's like the most patient. He understands like the whole strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of like do flashbacks of him. I'm giving you the whole movie, dude. Is that cool?
Go for it. I'm still going to watch it. I'll find it.
I will watch it again. I've seen it like 5 times. That's how good it is. So he gets to the point where, dude, he's like in his late 40s. He's, you know, there's a whole new platoon. And they get the one dude, the guy's much bigger than Kurt Russell. And they're having like the new best versus the old best. And Kurt Russell and this guy go not only toe to toe, and Kurt takes one of his eyes, but they also do like
that part.
It's a fucked up movie. It's not one of those. You don't walk away feeling good. You walk away going, whoa, like 12 Monkeys or Apocalypse Now. It's not like or Hamburger Hill. You're like, humanity's fucked up after that movie. So they also have a race and all this other stuff. They end up getting to the point where Kurt Russell, I think the new guy hurts him. Something happens and they throw Kurt Russell away. I know, I've seen it like 5 times and now I can't remember parts of it because I've been put on the spot. But he ends up on this.
He ends up on a trash planet.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a dump planet.
It is. And there are humans that are there, but they're not supposed to be there. They're illegally hanging out on the junkyard planet. So the government, the paramilitary government, decides that they need to be moved, and they say, no, fuck you, we're not going to move. So they go, okay, and they send the guy that Kurt Russell took his eye and his platoon. So Kurt Russell has to be, Kurt Russell, who's trying to learn how to be a human with these humans on the trash planet. Yeah. And there's a mom and a little boy, and the little boy is all like, why don't you have a mom? Why don't you have a family? Why don't you? I don't know. He's like
doesn't speak to it.
Yeah.
Remember, the little boy doesn't talk, but the most iconic
that's right.
statement from the whole movie, and it's the one that you used to see in all of the ads and whatnot. The father asks, what are you going to do? Kurt Russell just deadpan looks at him, I'm going to kill them, sir.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit. This is not going to be a family touchy-feely film.
No, it's not. It's Enemy Mine.
All right, I need to find it.
With the bad ending, with like, oh, God, because he can't, like Rob said, he knows what's going to happen. He has so much advanced upper echelon military training that he knows what to expect. And these people that he's protecting are...
Simple.
The dregs of society. They're throwaways. Nobody gives a shit
they've
about
created a... It's the old tale. They've created as close to a utopia as they can in the surroundings they're in, because they're completely cut off. Everything they have has been reclaimed from this planet, which quite literally is a dump planet. There are galactic freighters that come and drop
shit and
trash.
Leave, and they're all
they go out
remote
and they collect everything they can. They've created a society, and these people are surviving. They've created a democratic society in how they elect their leadership. It's a very socialist type of an order in how they share everything, and everybody comes together to help each other out.
And at first,
very small, very limited.
At first, they are terrified of him. They do not want Kurt Russell around. They want him to leave because... And then by the end of the movie, oh my God, save us! You know.
Only the father... It's a great one because it's like only the father understands who Kurt is.
Yeah, he's the only one who gets it.
They never tell you where the father got this knowledge. But the father looks at him and you know, all of his awards are literally tattoos on his arm. And it just tells all of the campaigns and all of the awards that he's received. He is did you ever see Universal Soldier?
Yes.
It's the same idea. So completely devoid of emotion and just a robotic soldier at this point.
If you were playing Shadowrun, he'd be what's called a 7 million new yen samurai, where he just, like a Unisol, he just, yes, thank you, I will carry out the mission. Excellent, thank you, sir. That's them. They're just...
Yep.
Oh.
So it's...
Yeah, I gotta watch this.
Yeah, it's not Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken or even Kurt Russell in the Christmas Chronicles. It's not your fun Kurt Russell. It's Kurt Russell detached from humanity.
Yeah, this is taking the Vulcan well beyond. He is a robot, and then you see him, you know, it talks about it basically is the tale of his growth, and the redemption tale for him and his team, as well as he becomes the new de facto
protector
father
to
the child who has been traumatized from life there. And so they're the link to each other, and the ability to bring his team into the human world, and to help this child to develop. So it's a great tale of redemption. It is not a cinematic grand film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's incredibly well done. But it's not, you know, it's not Ben-Hur. It's not something like that.
No. It's not Chariots of Fire or anything like that. But if you're into... I would liken Soldier to Blade Runner, where it's more about the futuristic human...
Yeah, I love Blade Runner, so I'm probably going to like it.
Blade Runner is the best movie ever because, for one, that's from Philip K. Dick, will do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, but Deckard is a clone of Edward James, almost his character, but he's a replicant, but he's hunting replicants, and he has a gun that can only kill replicants, but then Rachel is a replicant, but she's not, and then Roy, and then... So there's... the pure beauty of Blade Runner is its classic Philip K. Dick, where you're questioning everything. That's the beauty of all of his stories, whether it's Scanner Darkly or Man in a High Tower or We'll Remember It For You Wholesale. They're the Terry Gilliam psychological, like when Brazil Time Bandits or Baron Munchausen end or 12 Monkeys, you go, whoa, what the fuck did I just watch? Wait a minute. And then you have to get 3 of your best friends together and discuss the movie for another 2 hours. Because, whoa, if he went back in time and he was this, but the virus was released, but then Bruce wait a minute. So it's one of those kind of scenarios. If that makes sense.
I'm down.
Yeah, Soldier's on that list of movies like The Usual Suspects, True Romance, Tombstone. People that are 25 today have no idea that these movies exist, and that's a crime. You say the name Silverado. Oh, I love Chevys. No! The movie! Kevin Kline, Danny Glover, Scott Glenn, Jeff Goldblum. Oh, never mind.
That's why we need to do a podcast where we talk about these movies. Pick a movie, we watch it, and then we talk about it.
I have been harassing and haranguing you to do a podcast, and I want to be a part of your podcast. So that's a great idea, Kris.
Keep following me then.
Dude,
Yeah,
don't I
you
have
get to
enough
run that
We
podcast.
need to make a list.
Don't I have
You
enough
make a
to
list.
do, sir? Don't I have enough to do?
You know
There you
what?
go. The midnight movies with Kris.
I don't see why the three of us can't do a watch the movie. All these other YouTube people do a watch the movie reaction.
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing it? Mostly because I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either, so, you know,
Oh, well. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out. But
we'll
no,
figure it out.
Soldier's a really good movie. I'm glad you got a copy of Black Hole and Escape from New York. My good friend Tim Richards has a movie called Dead Man that he loaned to me that I watched, and it's got Crispin Glover in it, and it's early Johnny Depp movie. It's dark, but it's actually really good, and most of the movie involves a train ride and just people talking on the train. A lot like the last little segment of the Buster Scruggs movie that was on Netflix, where you have a bunch of people just having an interaction. Or were they on a train or a stagecoach? I think it was a train. Damn it, now I gotta watch that again. Oh, I don't have Netflix anymore. Never mind. Onward, other stuff. So I don't understand why we can't do reviews, or why can't we just, like, pick a night and then talk about movies.
That would be awesome.
Now that I interviewed for this job, we may need to change the,
We end up that way anyways, Bill.
Right?
Tonight, we're going to talk about quantum mechanics and string theory. And then by the second hour, and then, can you believe that they actually had her wearing that costume in the film? Oh my God!
By the third hour, no! SpongeBob can defeat Goku! You do not... Oh, I'm sorry, Stella. I keep scaring my cats. Here, come here.
I am absolutely convinced that Patrick is a golem, and you can't change my mind.
The Thing.
You know what
Human
next
turned into
Tuesday
rock?
is?
One more time.
You know what next Tuesday is?
See you
The
next
27th?
Tuesday, cunt. No, whoops. No,
It-
I don't...
It's Marvel. It's Wonder Man.
Wonder Man.
They're dropping the new show next Tuesday. I'll be up at midnight on Tuesday watching that.
I'm sure you will. Wonder Man is a clone of what's his name. So
Of the Vision.
technically,
No, the
Oh,
Vision clone of the Wonder Man.
yeah, they're twins basically.
Yeah,
Twins are clones. I mean, if you want to get
but the show is literally about a superpowered actor who is going to play Wonder Man, and they're bringing back Ben Kingsley play his character from Iron Man 3.
the Mandarin.
Yeah, well, not the Mandarin, but he's playing the actor character again.
Ben Kingsley is a fantastic actor, and he's been awesome in everything I've seen him, even Iron Man 3, which was, hurry up, we need a script. I seriously believe that movie was called that before it was made. So, I just hate it. I hate how DC pretty much got their shit together on television, but Marvel just keeps fucking up storylines and movies, and it's like, no, it's not, that's not how it was. Or we're going to, like, Prince Namor, the Submariner, is one of your very first anti-heroes in the Marvel universe. Yes, there's other anti-heroes before him, but like the Spider and some of the other pre-Batman vigilantes. Even the Shadow is kind of an anti-hero. But the movie, the way they had him in a black guy, it's like, dude, he may be on his own side, but Namor is completely capable of cooperation when it's the most logical outcome. Namor will help when there's a Galactus-level threat or, Secret Wars or that. But the way they portray Namor...
He was in the Invaders with Captain America in World War II.
Yeah.
The
original Human Torch, which was an android, not... Oh, he's safe. But they have Namor like this... I mean, he's almost like a... it goes back to my original argument that Marvel shot themselves in the foot, that they should have made the first movie Marvel team up and explained the universe, not just throwing you into the Avengers, throwing you into Spider-Man, throwing you into the Fantastic Four. This is Ghost Rider. No, wait, whoa. There's a multi-level club sandwich dealing with Marvel, just like there's a multi-level club sandwich dealing with DC. These are universes with multiple heroes. You can't just, well, that's the Hulk, and this is what he does. Whoa. And again, I keep quoting Christine, the last ex-wife. What does Iron Man do? Does he go after, like, bank robbers and purse snatchers? And I really thought about that, and I was like, God, no, I really wouldn't know if I hadn't been reading comic books my whole life. Oh, no, absolutely not. He's more into the world threat and terrorist category of superheroes, where Daredevil and Spider-Man and Iron Fist and Falcon and Power Man and Speedball, and they're your more street-level vigilante, stopping the bank robber, stopping the purse snatcher, The
problem, Bill, is that if you think about it, where did you first learn about Iron Man? How did you first learn about Iron Man?
Damn it. Okay.
I mean, let's think about it. How did you
hold on. You asked me a question. Yeah. So, my father only liked Sherlock Holmes and was not... Comic books to him were nonsense. He was more a baseball card guy than a comic book guy. So my dad, Michael, Andrea, Kris, Lorraine. Kris, my Uncle Kris, who's about a few weeks away from being 22 years. We're 22 years apart. Kris was obsessed with dinosaurs, obsessed with reptiles, and then Spider-Man had the Lizard as a villain. So my first memories of comic books are being on Kris's lap, and he's reading Spider-Man to me. Reading about him fighting the Lizard. But the problem is, Kris doesn't really give a crap about Spider-Man. I mean, he thinks arachnids are cool, but he wants the Lizard to win.
But so many of us have encountered our favorite comic book characters much further down the line from their initial inception.
Yeah.
And very few, except for extreme hardcores, will go to the degree to lay hands on or find, especially in our time frame, to be able to get to Iron Man #1, to be able to get to any of these and read them. It became very difficult in the 70s.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to find the reprints in the anthology books.
Yeah.
In the 80s and the 90s, it became much easier because they would reprint big bold letters, reprinted, not the originals. Don't be an asshole.
You're not.
So that's why the Marvel films and the DC films follow through in that Spider-Man was a perfect way to introduce you to Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
It's a great way to introduce you to the character. Most comic book fans learn about their favorite characters by stumbling into a storyline. The first one I ever got was number 127. Okay, great. You read through it. You had a good time. Then you started asking questions. And
Yeah.
maybe you went back and you looked through the past copies. 'Cause I want to. Where did this start from? Oh, this one. Oh, but it's back here. And then you're walking out with a stack of old comic books.
I liked all the weird ones. I was collecting Machine Man and Ghost Rider and Son of Satan and all of these obscure comics that nobody was into in the mid-'80s. But also, what happened in the mid-'80s, and it's not talked about at all, was the new universe. And really only Star Brand has survived. But
my favorite was DP7.
me too. I really love Displaced Paranormal
I
7.
love DP7.
I love I was okay. Justice, DP7, Psyforce, and Night Mask were the only ones I read. I kind of wanted to keep up on Spitfire and the Troubleshooters. Kickers Incorporated was too sports for me, and Merc was basically Sergeant Rock with some paranormal stuff going on, but there wasn't. It was more military and less paranormal. So those are you had Star Brand, you had DP7, Psyforce, Night Mask, Kickers Incorporated, Spitfire and the Troubleshooters, Merc. Is that all of them? I have the poster. I still have the poster I got in 1987. But they were like, well, before that, Marvel put out Strike Force Morituri. And I remember that
I remember that.
One of the writers for Strike Force Morituri did a signing at one of the local comic book shops. And I was like 16, and I had my 1973 Mercury Montego four-door Forest Green in and out, the lizard. So I drove all the way to 7th Avenue in Dunlap, and I stood in line, and I think I even still have the first 3 comics of Strike Force Morituri. And the story was pretty good, but it kind of died. And I remember asking the artist, or the writer, so, do you think that Ghost Rider will ever come back? And he looked at me like I slapped him in the face as he was signing the poster that, no, Ghost Rider is not coming back. Blah, 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 blah. Sure enough, 1992, Ghost Rider #1. So, before the new universe was Strike Force Morituri and like 2 other, I can't remember what they were. Marvel had 2 other lines, two new characters, but they died. They died, and then the new universe was released, and it went for a while. I mean, I think the DP7 went up to like episode 38, maybe. Oh, hold on now.
Yeah, they did a really long run. And do you know how the new universe came into being?
Please enlighten me while I look this up.
I think it was after Secret Wars 2. Beyonder. Because of the Beyonder.
Yeah.
I believe it was either Secret Wars 2 or Secret Wars 1. The 12-issue limited series.
Okay, it lasted 3 years, 86 to 89. The New Universe is an imprint from Marvel Comics that was published in its original incarnation from 1986 to... So my whole high school Marvel Comics utilizing a preconceived shared universe concept. Superhuman.
So did it...
Go ahead.
Did it break off of Secret Wars 1 or Secret Wars 2?
Oh!
I think it was Secret Wars 2.
We forgot to mention Justice, which was also another actually really good storyline. DP7 focuses on a group of 7 paranormals on the run from a sinister medical facility created to deal with the booming paranormal population. 32 issues, I was close. Kickers and Company, a group of heroes for hire, all former pro football players who gain superhuman strength and speed and invulnerability after the White Event. The White Event is what starts the new universe, but that's actually Star Brand coming. The White Event is Star Brand coming to the planet Earth. Mark Hazard Merc Vietnam veteran turned soldier of fortune whose mercenary lifestyle has cost him the love of his family. Night Mask. Orphaned Keith Remsen is a counselor aided by his sister Teddy, who uses his newfound ability to enter people's dreams to help them recover from trauma and mental illness. And he's in a wheelchair in real life, but when he goes in people's dreams, he can... OBS is having problems tonight. Sorry. Technology. Like and subscribe, folks.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Justice was neat because Justice was like one of those 12 Monkeys situations where you're like, is this guy really going through this, or is he just fucking crazy? Where 12 Monkeys, you're like, is Bruce Willis really going through time, or is he just insane? With Justice, is he really like a knight from another dimension, or is this guy just a crazy person like the Max? So Justice is a titular hero who is an alien knight exiled to Earth by his enemies with no way to return to his home dimension. He delivers out justice to evildoers everywhere. So you're not sure if Justice is just like a crazy street person or an actual knight from another dimension. He sees demons. His left hand is a shield, his right hand is a sword. And they're these, like the left hand produces these green, like rectangles that push, and he can actually step on them. They have physical properties, where his right hand is this red blast. So you're like...
See, I only really ever read, like, DP7. That was really the only one that me.
Justice is like reading The Fisher King with Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, where you're like, oh my god, this guy's out of his fucking mind. But some of the things he kills turn out to be actual creatures from another dimension. And the local police just kind of push it under the rug because it's a parallel universe, so there's stories of Spider-Man, but he's not in their world. Where Cyforce. Cyforce is sad because there's this, I can't remember what tribe he is, but there's this native dude who's kind of like Navajo Professor X. He goes around and he finds all these children that have psychic abilities. One is this one kid, he's a telepath. He can read people's minds. He doesn't even have to be in the room with them. The one kid is a astral projection. The girl has telekinesis. The other, one of the other... So there, he gets them all together. Cyforce is a group of paranormals on the run from a government that seeks to control them. They can meld their abilities into a powerful psychic being called Cyhawk, which is basically like they all touch the Native American guy's medallion and they all pass out, but like he appears and he has like all of their powers tenfold. So he like saves the day, but then he disappears and they all wake up and they're like, what happened? What's going on? And they have no memory of him wiping out all of the bad guys and all the other bad psychic powered villains that they've been. So that was kind of interesting, but it's sad because it's a group that can't get along, that's lost their mentor. So they're constantly fighting each other while they're all fighting over who's going to be in charge. Spitfire and the Troubleshooters only lasted...
Wasn't that the robot?
Yeah. Well, okay. DP7 goes 32 issues, Justice 32, Kickers and Company 12, Mark Hazard, 12, Night Mask, which is a crime, only 12, Cyforce went 32, Spitfire and the Troubleshooters 13, aided by 5 prankster students, Professor Jenny Swenson steals her father's MAX armor It's basically an Iron Man suit, but a lot more crude. And then goes after who killed her father. So it's the whole my father was murdered in it. Yeah. Where Starbrand was the main story, but it only went 19 issues. So that tells you that Justice, DP7, and Cyforce were actually the bread and butter of the new universe, even though the whole new universe was Starbrand is Ken Connell. Ken Connell is given a power called the Starbrand by a mysterious visitor from space who tells him to guard it well. Driven by his conscience, Connell struggles to find the most just and appropriate use for the Starbrand's ultimate power. Because it's kind of like being given Superman powers, but you have a blast instead of I-beams. The story is really big, it's really old, and the mysterious alien is actually, once you get the Starbrand, you're pretty much immortal, but if you get damaged beyond repair, your body goes into this like cocoon state, and you look like this weird alien that's a cross between a shambling mound from D&D and Clayface. But you're in a you're supposed to be just lying there healing, and then you turn back into a human. But the Starbrand, the alien, just kind of grabs him and puts it on his chest because other aliens are coming to take it. It's kind of like Green Lantern in the origin with, how it starts. But the story was kind of your hot 80s rocker guy has like 3 girlfriends and doesn't want to be a superhero, also has to work. That's why it only went 19 episodes. Where...
See, and I remember when those came out.
Yeah.
I remember when those came out.
Well, DP7 and Cyforce and Justice, these guys have real fucking problems. They don't get along. They don't work well together. It all culminated in the pit, where the government is kind of like, they're not mutants, they're white event paranormals. And they basically make another branch of the military that's all like mutants, paranormals. So that was the whole universe. And then they tried to like bring it back and bring a couple of the characters back, but unfortunately it just really didn't. And even, Namor, Prince Namor, 1994, had an interaction with the multiverse, new universe stuff, but it's its own thing. So it doesn't really mesh with the rest of the Marvel universe because it's an alternate dimension. It's the same argument as Superman from Earth 52 versus Superman from... They're alternate dimensions! It's not the same Superman! So that's a lot of the same problems that the new universe had, where, well, Superman could... or Batman or, Spider-Man... It's not the same. Those guys aren't in that universe. They don't have any of those guys there. It's all new guys. And Marvel purists can't... You know how hard it is to get a comic book fanatic that's been a comic book fanatic for 30 years to accept a brand new character, brand new story. Fire bad!
The only way you can do that is you have to throw the what ifs to it. So you have to have, this is the Watcher. He's telling you what if, and I've seen this. Then you can get them to grudgingly accept it for one episode.
Maybe.
And then they want to go back and fight with you.
Because geeks want to see the expanded universe. They want to know, what? Nerds want to know it's like this and it can never be changed. Okay, but that was 40 years ago. It's fine now. Really, it's fine.
I am okay with change as long as it's done respectfully and smartly.
Yes.
right?
Agreed.
Take what came before, change it enough for a new audience. Okay, I have the perfect example. Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
But he's that Spider-Man for that universe.
Right.
Okay, I can accept that. I'm not happy about it, but I can accept that. Peter Parker is Spider. Yeah, that's okay.
But Stan Lee also said that anybody can be under that mask.
There you go. It's okay.
Anybody. It could be you. It could be Rob. It could be me. It could be the dog.
I'm okay.
You know, it could be anybody.
Honestly, if there could be, I know we're getting close to the end, but there was a Spider-Girl series. And I think, the first 5 or 6 episodes. And then I don't know what happened after that. But Peter Parker is walking around with a cane, and his daughter is wearing his original red and blue and black suit.
Nope.
That was from the 90s. That would be a cool movie.
Yep.
Who would you cast as Spider-Girl?
I would dig that.
Because it's not Spider-Woman. That's a different story completely, involving Merlin and a bunch of other weirdness. But Spider-Girl, who would you cast as Spider-Girl?
She's got to be young.
Oh.
When are we casting? Are we casting it now, or are we casting it from the 90s?
All through time.
All through time? All right, I'm going to get some shit for this.
Remember.
Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez.
She's too pretty. Peter Parker's a less than average looking guy.
But who is he married to?
That's not fair. She knows that he's Spider.
He is married to Mary Jane.
Yes, he is.
Do not tell me that their baby would come out ugly. Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. Fair enough. I'm trying to think.
I'm going to die on that hill. I'm sorry.
I would go. Dinah Meyer.
Go.
Dizzy from Starship Troopers. Of course, she's already she's already Batgirl, so it's not much of a stretch. God, I love her so much. Anyway, go ahead, Rob.
I think, quite frankly, I would have taken from Kick-Ass, the young lady that played.
Yeah, good choice.
I think because she's
Chloe
pretty, but she's not this ravishing beauty. But she kind of presents as that. She presents more like that every girl, the girl you would expect to see down the street. If she's not wearing a bunch of makeup and whatnot, she's just tooling around, she would look no different than my granddaughters. Yeah. And that is what I would envision as, to your point, the daughter of Peter Parker.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of gymnasts, like a Mary Lou Retton kind of, or Sandy Duncan, somebody who's really, because being Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire broke his back, dude. Being Spider-Man would be a tremendously physically demanding role. Like all three, I respect those guys. Garfield and Maguire and
Holland.
Thank you, Holland.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I brain farted on.
Hey, Holland.
It's one of those Lord of the Rings movies. Aragorn broke a foot. Legolas broke his back. Samwise got a deep gash of glass when he was doing the boat scene at the end of the first Fellowship movie. They're very physically demanding movies. All of the movies that involved doing student films, you hurt yourself. So
didn't Tom Holland hurt himself in the new one that's coming out?
Oh, I'm sure.
Brand New Day. I heard that he got a concussion or something in the new one. Yeah, I believe was doing the flips or something.
You've had that I've never seen it, but it does exist, and there was a Spider-Man musical, and many of the main character actors hurt themselves for the physical demands of. Dude, it's Spider-Man. He fucking jump like 30 feet in the air if he needs to. If he's scared.
I'm scared.
My spider sense. So, but yeah, the new universe was very neat, but it kind of crashed and burned.
Definitely crushed.
But I also was a huge. DP7 was neat because it was very Wagon Train, Oregon Trail, Battlestar Galactica. They got to keep moving. Elf Quest, which was another comic book where we got to keep moving. We got to keep running. The orcs are after us. We've got to go. So and so's injured, and the fucking thing we've been dragging him around with broke. We've got to build a new one. We can't leave him behind. He's an elf, And that was a lot like the new universe with DP7 and Cyforce. With Justice, it was a lot more like Jacob's Ladder mixed with the Fisher King and 12 Monkeys. You're not sure if this guy is just having just like the worst mental breakdown ever, and he's just accidentally killing random people with his newfound superpowers, or he really is a knight from another dimension. Yes, he has a whole lot of memories of that, but that's what the brain does. Oh, yeah. Very Slaughterhouse 5. There you go. Kurt Vonnegut. We love the classics, folks. Like and subscribe. We're getting close.
Like and subscribe.
Yes. We are the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. Thank you very much for watching. Are you guys okay? I mean, I'm only saying this because it's close to 8, and Kris, you're a night owl, but Rob and I get up super butt ass crack early. Like I said,
and you guys need your rest because you're old.
I am old. I will accept that.
Are you like a year older than me?
I had to get a haircut and a beard so I don't, and a trim so that I don't look as old.
Yeah, you look good. Well done. What'd you say, Kris?
I said you're years older than that.
Well, I'm 53, so I'm gonna be 54 this year. Holy shit! Huh?
When's your birthday?
May 8th. I'm a Taurus. You're a Libra or a Leo.
I'm Leo.
Leo.
I'm in July.
End of July.
So.
Rob's the mysterious birthday.
Is that your jammy head?
Huh?
I just tell everybody that I look great for 72.
I look great for 180. Wait, what?
That's right. They all look at you and go, "You're 72? Oh, no. For 72, I look great. For my age, I look like 40 miles of bad road in a hurricane. But for 72, I am.
I am sitting pretty.
There's something kind of special coming up for me in March, so that we know.
Well, go.
Yeah.
Plug away. You've got your next signing, and then what's this special coming up you're talking about?
Okay, I have my next show on the 31st, the Tempe Fan Con. And then coming up this year, March 23rd, which is a Monday. I've already looked. So the 24th is when we'll have that show on that day, hopefully. It'll be 10 years from when I had my first heart attack.
Oh, my God. I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah. I am still here. I'm still alive and kicking. It's been 10 years, so...
Yeah, let's have 10 more. How about that?
Yeah. How about we have 20 more?
20, 30, 40 more. We're good.
40 more. I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah, March 23rd was be 10 years from the time that I had my massive heart attack and died. Came back and died again.
Heaven doesn't want you, and hell thinks you're going to take over. Best to put him back on Earth. You, Lobo, and Constantine, and Captain Harkness from Doctor Who. You're all immortal.
Okay, I'll even take the Son of Satan.
What?
I'll even take the Son of Satan, Damien Hellstorm.
Yeah. Son of
I
Satan.
strive every day to live a life such that when my feet hit the floor, the devil goes, "Oh shit."
Not again.
I
Yo.
can't.
No, Marvel could redo the Son of Satan, but why? Vertigo
Right.
already did Lucifer, and it's become huge on Netflix because the actor does a pretty good job. He's entertaining. He's believable as Lucifer.
Yep.
And I think that Marvel wanted. Son of Satan is pre-Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider is like the evolution of Son of Satan, where screw you, devil, I'm going to take all your powers and do my own thing. But then when McFarlane leaves and creates Image and Spawn, well, that's Ghost Rider again, only just repackaged to a new audience. But then they revitalized Ghost Rider a couple times. And I have to say that originally Johnny Blaze in the Ghost Rider story, it's a good story, but then they made the movies and they cast Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider, and not that Nick Cage couldn't play Johnny Blaze, he's fine, but he's too fucking old to play Johnny Blaze when they're... No, Johnny Blaze is like 21, 22. He's stupid enough for the devil to manipulate him, because youth is dumb. Sorry. With age comes wisdom. So you miss the aspect of, I mean, yes, he saves Eva Longoria, and no one's going to argue that those breasts should be, anyway, but it having him being advanced in years loses a lot of the believability of the fantasy movie.
You have to play him. He has to play the character much later, so it can't be the initial point when Johnny Blaze becomes the Ghost Rider. It's
Yes.
got to be Johnny Blaze, who has been the Ghost Rider for 20
a while
years.
And going, let me tell you, kid, and it would have been better, right, if they had started Ghost Rider like the movie Heartbreak Ridge, where Clint Eastwood is already incarcerated, he's in prison, he's talking to the, kid, and...
Let me tell you all about it.
Let me tell you about 1974, and and that would have been, it would have been more believable than to have... But in the reiteration of Ghost Rider in 92, when it's re-released by Marvel, it's the bike that's cursed, not the deal with the devil. And I like that because Marvel finally got around to reading Needful Things and the picture of Dorian Gray and realized Marvel went through a lot of iterations with devil, demonic characters. In the beginning, they were literally culled from Catholicism and Christianity, where they're these like rah kind of characters, and it's like, dude, no. The devil would operate a lot more like Crossroads than it would like, fucking hell and brimstone. And the devil is going to trick you with what you want. He's not going to come and beat the shit out of you and then sign this, bitch. And that's not how he operates. It's just not.
Yeah.
So
he's not a used car salesman. He's much better.
Dude, it literally took Marvel almost 30 years to figure out Mephisto and the devil and the demons and all of your... Ghost Rider is the only real survivor from Marvel figuring out demon devils.
Yep.
Because you have the one above all and the one below all in Marvel, but they don't... Marvel did the service of steering clear of a lot of that so they wouldn't offend giant groups of people, which was smart in the end-all aspect of things. OBS is... OBS...
But,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But controversy breeds money.
What?
Controversy breeds money.
Well, yes, it does.
Gretchen
I
agrees.
mean,
Gretchen agrees.
offend somebody. There's going to be, if you're going to offend one person, be 5 more who are going to be, hey, that's pretty freaking cool. Let's spend money on it.
Oh yeah, and in
wrong.
this age of the internet and social media, you can offend more faster and get more free play, more free advertising than you ever could in the past. You had to offend somebody outside of a movie theater, outside of a bookstore, and then the word you had to get back to the newspaper or the television or somebody like that, and then they had to come out, and then you had to, so it would take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get any response. Now, I can come out here and say all kinds of offensive things, and within 20 minutes of this being posted on the Weird Wide Web, you've got everybody losing their minds, and you know, everybody's choosing up sides, and you get 3 camps. You get the group that sides with the statement, a group that's absolutely objectively against the statement, and you get the one in the middle that's popping the popcorn saying, I want to see this play out.
I hate the future, and I love the future, because you're exactly correct. It's never been easier to piss off huge groups of people than in the future. It's never been easier to indulge in all of my Don Rickles-esque shenanigans than to be a troll lord on Facebook. Sorry.
Did you get banned again, Bill?
I'm done. For 4 days. I was banned until 1:48 this afternoon, but I went to a job interview that was like a group job. I get banned all the time. You know how many times I've had a 30-day ban on Facebook? You don't know anything. That's like being in the stockades. It's fine. Anyway.
At some point in time, they're going to send you a plaque like YouTube does.
Yes.
You're going to get a silver plaque and a gold plaque.
I have to. Ed made me a medal. I have to have him make some more medals, and I'll call those Facebook jail. I've done more Facebook jail time than than anybody watching knows, because I can't help myself.
You know,
that
if you
offends
give those
you,
medals
huh?
to the
Oh,
president,
here, let me post 5 things that piss you off.
If you give those medals to the president, then he'll give you a pardon, and you can start all over again.
He might, look, we're not supposed to get political on the show.
I'm not getting political.
No,
I'm just saying this is an opportunity.
Any president would pardon me for being the king of the bridge trolls. You can't just shit post continuously, but you got to stir shit up. Pissing people off shows you who they truly are. Sorry.
I'm not going to say a word.
I really don't care. I really don't. But I also do. I care about people in general, and I really want my fellow man to succeed. But there is a line of my tolerance if you start just spewing stuff that's not really what I'm aligned with. But I'm not going to, that's why I don't post anything on my Facebook and I go and I troll other avenues, because it's not really for me to post yay or nay on political shit. Not only that, if we're doing this, you don't give a crap about my political stuff. You want to hear what I have to say about the Empire and the Federation and the Confederation.
Learn how to light a torch.
Yeah.
Something.
Here's what I want to do, and I think it would take us about a month to get ready. I would like to really take like 5 or 6 of us and have a deeply heated political discussion in the Forgotten Realms. Have a bunch of people that are like totally Cormyr, and then like have 3 that are like Thaans and Zentilki. Yeah, I think that would be. The problem is that it would only be like funny to an outsider for a 2-minute bit, and only like giant geeks and nerds like us would love it for like more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then what we do is we get a hold of some of these other groups and we say, would you guys like to partake?
I look at it as, I haven't watched it. No, it's good. No, I agree with you. There is a YouTube channel called Epic Rap Battles of History, and I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's fucking hysterical, and I highly recommend it. But that's kind of like, without the rap battle, I would kind of like to have that. Okay, the Romulans have said, okay, Federation, or, and then have, like, Forgotten Realms. Okay, Corin. Okay, the mayor of Waterdeep says, because...
Do the space theme and then throw something really ugly at him, like Ice Pirates is the actual greatest space film series ever written. Changed my mind.
I love Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates is offensive and awesome and sexist and horrible, and god damn it, I love it. This be my bad chariot bloods.
I haven't seen that movie forever either.
I have it right over here, I think.
I'm going to head to the great land of Nod.
Oh, man, it's 11-8, or it's 8-11, not 11-8.
It's 11-8. It's too damn late.
Thank you for watching episode 55 and joining us. We really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Oh, my God! Please. I can't beg you enough. Yes, the 21st? 21st.
I think tentatively that's what...
Jingo said the 21st, right before Valentine's Day, was going to be the next RPG. The next.
He said the 21st is after Valentine's Day, and he was easier to do that one. The other thing I want to say is
he's got a woman, something that the three of us don't have. So he's got to be prepared for Valentine's Day.
Antonio is going to be getting his first degree
good for him.
I think it is the 21st of March, which is a Tuesday night. So when he goes to get his first degree, I will not be able to be on, of course, because
Wednesday night is
Mason.
Oh, hold on, Kris. Wednesday night is Mason night, and now and then Scottish Rite would invade Monday night. Now they're invading Tuesday night?
Hey, I'm going to be there for Antonio to usher you in.
Yes. But
and enjoy the hell out of that.
Why the fuck can't it be on a Wednesday? Is I call bullshit. Sorry.
Well, it's because it's a different lodge.
Different lodge?
He's in a different lodge.
Oh.
So my lodge, his lodge meets in my lodge's building. My lodge meets on Wednesday night. His lodge meets on Tuesday.
Hail the Order of the Buffalo.
There are over 80. There have been over 80 lodges in the state of Arizona, throughout the state. One of the oldest is actually down in Tombstone.
You were saying that. We'll check that out. Okay, well, it's not until March. We'll figure that out.
Right. And that's why I wanted to give you a heads up, because I want to be there for his first degree. I want to make sure.
We almost had an impromptu board game night with Scott and Ed and Clay and I, but it ended up not happening. So that is going to happen, whether it happens at your house or my house or Antonio's. Dude, that place looks awesome. That place is the equivalent of the Tapatio Cliffs in the penthouse. The penthouse at the Tapatio Cliffs is the ultimate gaming room. Call them now and reserve it. And listen to me. I was there as a security guard for 10 months. It's mostly vacant. No one rents it out. It is expensive, but dude, you've got the whole penthouse to yourself. It's not a room, it's a gaming room with a giant table and like 4 dry erase glass boards on the wall. There's a full refrigerator, a bathroom, a shower, toilet. There's even a patio. So if you're like, oh, you split off from the group, come outside and talk with me, because that always happens in a gaming. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep. Both of you? If you've got 10 or 12 folks coming together, everybody ponies up a couple of bucks. It's not as expensive as it sounds.
Yeah. And, Tapatio, Hilton was cool. Yeah, okay, I'm banned from the property because I got fired because it's bullshit. I was telling my supervisor today, it's like, he's the day supervisor and he's not technically my boss, and he wrote me up for not writing a report fast enough. I have 7 fucking hours to write up this report. How is this not fast enough? Anyway. But that would be... I would risk sneaking onto the property and risk the jail time just to play... I'm technically not allowed to set foot, which sucks, because here's the rooms. These are the rooms that are haunted. This is the area. I have my cheat sheet.
Put you in a trench coat. He put you in a trench coat and a top hat.
It's easier to give out all of you the information and then to do, like, this coming Halloween, do a mass. Oh, yeah, I need to rent room number 6224, 6251, 1120. Well, why? No reason.
I heard they're the best rooms in the place.
Somebody died in those rooms. I don't know. My friend rented those rooms and said they were top shelf.
And I can pee off the balcony. That's all I care about.
Yeah. The whole place is fucking haunted. It's on the top of a mountain. But no, their penthouse is seriously the ultimate gaming room. I did have a video of it, but they made me take it off my YouTube. Should I post all those old? Probably not. I don't want to fight Hilton.
You don't need to deal with
I'm
that.
broke. I don't have any money to fight them. Anyway. Like and subscribe. Episode 55. Thank you very much for joining us. You could have watched anybody, but you decided to watch us. We really, really, really appreciate that. We're up to 23 subscribers on YouTube! Huzzah! Sorry, I'm really excited about this, considering that, dude, like 50 people watch us, but nobody subscribes. Now I understand why all those guys are nuts about subscribers. Makes perfect sense. Come see Kris. One more time.
January 31st, Kentucky Fan Con. 10 to 3.
Yep.
Bauhaus Puppet Show.
Yep. Bauhaus Puppet Show. Waiting for the next one to be announced. Don't forget, today was my St. Mary's Day, so don't forget, if you have the opportunity, give your time, help out with your local food bank.
Come out and see the Arizona Renaissance Festival. I know we're going to have another show before that, but I'm going to keep plugging it because I haven't done it in 11 years, and it used to be such an integral part of my life from 1990 to 2015. So please go out there and see it. Get there early. Show up at 9:30. The King's Arrival, the royal procession, starts at 9:45. The gates open at 10. There's over 500 shops and turkey legs. That's usually all you need to say to people. Yeah, there you go. Everybody loves the turkey legs. You can buy one at the store. Turkey leg, yeah! You can buy one at the store.
Get there early, stay there late.
Yes. It closes at 6. You can bring in bottled water, but you can't bring in anything else. There is flushing toilets. It's changed a lot.
Awesome.
80.
I'm going to have to go this year.
You really have to. You have to plan it out. Don't just, we're going to go. You're going to waste your money. Plan it out to get there. Because I'm not shitting you. From the 51 to Ren Fair, it's an hour.
Yep. It can be a good, long trek.
You got to take the 51 to the 202 to the 60 and all the way out. It's 9 miles east of Apache Junction. Or take the 51 to the 10 to the 60 all the way out to Gold Canyon, Arizona. 9 miles east of Apache Junction. Around the Peralta Trail out there by the Superstitions.
Yep.
Anything else, gents?
Okay.
Have
Take care.
a wonderful night. Thank you very much for joining us. You guys have a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.